first pretended that you were her baby. Then you were sent into an orphanage. At 4 years old, you were adopted by a parent in Jersey. Right. And did you ever reconnect with your queen? So I ended up in I have family. Family, and then in 1971 or 72. And I called the French embassy and I spelled my name Korsia. And the French embassy said, let me look in an old photo. I said, fine. She looks, she comes back. She says, we don't have that spelling, but we have Korchia, but it's pronounced the same. I said, great, I'll take it. So my decorator, Aline, I said, here's the number, because you speak French, I don't. So she called up, and it was my first time.
Hey, TJ, how you doing? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
I didn't hear about. I needed
What are you doing today, Gagos?
President Trump spoke just a few minutes ago. He says he is optimistic on a deal to avoid
Morning, Brenda. Logan, how you doing? How's everybody doing this? It's just kind of a blasé morning here, but is what it is, right?
If there's progress in the talks before taking.
ceasefire expires without a deal, the president expects, he says, to be bombing Iran again on making a deal, though. The president says he is under no pressure at all to do that, adding that the deal that we're making with Iran will be a far better one than the JCPOA, commonly referred to as the Iran nuclear deal penned by Barack Hussein Obama. He writes, and sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst deals ever made, having to do with the security of our country. It was a guaranteed.
Oh, Logan, 49, huh? I tell you what my temperature is here. 43 degrees here in Port Huron, but it is windy with a strong wind out of the north. Hey, John, how's it going? JDS. Lance. How you doing, Lance?
For Sarnia Imperial. I have no additional southbound traffic other than the Captain Henry Jackman 411 and 120950. There are 3 checkdowns in place with a wide berth at Sun, Imperial, and Sarnia elevator. Over. Roger, thank you. Sarnia traffic out.
There's a red zone that's been created to form a perimeter around the area where the high stakes talks are expected. We've also been told some towels have been cleared to make room for VIPs. And one of the Pakistani papers here, the Dawn, today, that since Islamabad has increased its security here when Vice President Vance visited the first time, because Pakistan is really hoping that President Trump might come to this country, which the president has said he might. And the U.S. delegation led by the vice president has not publicly confirmed their anticipated travel here to Pakistan. It's really an hour-by-hour situation. The AP is now on is willing to send a delegation here, but that's not confirmed yet either. Now, Iranian state media has been reporting one sticking point is the U.S. blockade. State media has said as long as that blockade remains up, Iran will not negotiate. So far, the president has said the blockade.
Hey, Jason, how's it going? Hey, how's it going?
Good morning, Paul. It's going very well. How are you?
A little chilly, but we're here.
Yeah,
And as you
can't
can
be
see,
too
the
chilly.
skies are not very bright here. It looks like you got sunshine there.
Yes, and it's 49 degrees here. It's funny, on Saturday, we went to my son's rugby game, right?
Uh-huh.
It was 91 degrees in the sun on Saturday. And then the next day, it was like drizzling in the morning and 50 degrees. It was cold and miserable. The sun eventually came out where it was just windy and sunny, but still cool.
Well, we had snow here a couple of days ago.
Holy smokes. Isn't it springtime?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but somebody didn't tell the weatherman.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why I prefer to use the weather rock to tell me the weather.
Yep.
You know, it's hot when you touch it. It's hot outside. If it's cold when you touch it, cold
Logan says
outside.
good morning to you, Jason.
Hey, Logan, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by my my Fortnite live stream last night.
Yeah, Logan
Right
gets
on.
around.
Yeah, no, indeed.
I don't
Yep,
know where
headed into work
I
right
don't know
now.
where TJ is, whether he's working or just sleeping or chowing down with a bowl full of Cheerios or something.
Maybe you'll sleep in at work.
That's a possibility too.
Oh
Although
yeah.
I can't imagine TJ going anywhere and falling asleep. He might get tired, but it's just like
Right. That's funny. Yeah. But yeah, I got a bunch of stems to teach this week, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, do you?
Yep, had a big one yesterday. 50 kids,
Wow.
50 youths flew yesterday,
Now,
and
so they all flew?
yep, every single one of them, which was pretty cool.
Do you ever get
Now,
a group? You ever get a group there where somebody says, I'm gonna pass?
oh yeah, that happens a lot actually, which is why I'm surprised that everybody flew. You know, everybody tried it at least. You know.
Did they like it?
So yeah, even though they did not fly the best. You know, I've had the majority of them all had bent legs, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, hey, straighten your legs. You give them the hand signals. It's almost like, are your eyes open? Follow the hand signals. It's like their brains shut off, and they refuse to, listen to the hand signals. I mean, even before they get in, they're like, they forgot what this was, and I would always review right before we got in. But
Does
yeah.
any of them get into the fetal position where they're curled up?
I had one that I carried out like a baby, because yeah, I mean, she basically rolled over onto her back, so I held her up. I tried to roll her back over, but she like grabbed on like a koala bear, and I'm like, okay, I'll just carry you out. And she's like, not no more. I had enough.
That's funny. Well, you're doing a great thing. You're showing those kids there's more out there than just a classroom or a home, you know?
The experiential learning, as we call it.
Yep.
You're right, 100%. And who knows? I mean, I do it because it's part of my why, which is
Yep.
to shape the lives of young people so that they're prepared for life as contributing members to society,
Right.
to the community. And so if I could ignite some type of a positive spark for STEM, for science, technology, engineering, or math in them to at least have an interest, like, hey, I think I would like to do that. This is a lot of fun, then um, then I've done my job.
Any of the kids that you get headed for the military?
Oh, you know what? I'm sure there's many,
But they
it's not
don't.
like it's not like I work with them on a daily basis. Carry on. Good morning, Joe. Captain Joe. At least this group, the STEM groups, because they come in one time and that's the last I see of them, unless they come back
Okay.
again the following year. So it's not like I'm tracking their progress throughout their high school career. Now, the youth group that I teach, right? Some of them return, say hello, and I know a handful have the ones that were in scouts that I was the adult leader for in their scouting unit are still in college. Some have gone into the military, enlisted. In fact, I've had a few people that work for me at iFly join the military. But that's about it. We joke that if you become a flight instructor at iFly Virginia Beach and you try to go to SEAL training, you will not graduate.
That's right, Jim, in Virginia
Well-
Beach, Virginia, USA.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Joe, how's
And
the
I
pupper
think part
dog
of that
doing
is
today?
because I
Doing
think
good.
it's I don't know why they don't like. We've had several instructors, right, leave us in order to join the military to go to SEAL training, but when they get there, they can't finish it. I mean, it's hard training in the first place, but not a single one have graduated because it's like the curse of the iFly Virginia Beach flight instructor will not be a SEAL.
Well, they
You have to be
can't
SEAL
make
first and then
they
instructor.
can't design the program so that anybody can do it. You got to have a certain mental toughness and a physical
Exactly.
toughness. Yeah.
Yeah, my buds class, we started out with 137 people and we graduated with 32.
In the paper.
So
Which is about right. A
Oh.
third typically only graduate.
No,
So ours was less than a third
Oh,
in
dude.
the math quarter. I think the biggest buds graduating class was 49. 49 to 47. You have to Google that one. I don't remember the exact number. It might be more.
now most of your classes you have there, you're not talking about small kids, are you? You're talking about older kids.
Oh yeah, it ranges. The field trip is for elementary school through high school. I've actually had an adult college classes do a field trip for us also.
What's the youngest that you've had in training?
For STEM,
Yeah.
elementary school.
Wow.
So what is that? 6 years old?
That'd be hard.
How did they do?
Oh, you know what? It is, because sometimes their attention span, and I tailor it to that youth group, that age, and it's a shorter discussion. And yeah, I see this a lot. They raise their hand and then they say, "Are we gonna fly yet? Is it time to fly yet?"
In the middle of it, they ain't worried about what you're saying. They
Oh,
when
yeah.
we gonna fly.
And I get it. But I try to talk to their level, so to speak.
Yeah, so in
Because they're
their
not going to
mind,
get the high school physics discussion clearly. You know what I mean?
in their mind, they're there for one thing, and that's flying.
We're going to fly. Yeah. Now, the laboratory exercise that I do for the elementary school kids they build parachutes like out of a paper towel and yarn and a penny, so they can test drop it. And the discussion and the purpose of that is to just demonstrate to them that their parachute's not perfect right now, but the more times they try it, it will become better. Right? Each time that they do it, it's an experiment.
I think it would be
I
hilarious.
parallel that to who Thomas Edison is.
I think it'd
You know,
be
and they ask him, hey, do
hilarious.
you know who Thomas Edison is? They say,
It'd
yes,
be-
I do. Yeah,
it-
Thomas
it'd
Edison
be-
made the light bulb, but they
it'd-
developed it on the first try,
Yeah.
right? Did you make it on the first try? No, they didn't. In fact, at the press conference, once he invented the light bulb, they asked him, how many times, how did it feel to have failed 1,000 times before you made the light bulb? Thomas Edison would say, I didn't fail 1,000 times making the light bulb. I learned 1,000 times, 1,000 ways to not make the light bulb. And so hopefully that sparks some type of interest that, hey, you could mess things up.
Have you ever had
Experiment,
anybody?
figure it out.
Have you ever had anybody come there dressed up like a bumblebee or anything like that and fly?
No, not necessarily, but those mascots,
Yeah.
what we'll do is the instructors will wear the mascot uniform and
Uh-huh.
fly inside the wind tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah, we will not put that would be an experienced instructor that knows how to negotiate the wind, not a newbie.
Sure.
That wouldn't look pretty.
No. Like we had a pizza outfit guy, or like a shaped like a pizza. One of my flight instructors wore that.
See a slice of
sketchy.
pizza flying.
Yeah, flying pizza, which is pretty
That'd
funny.
be funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
TJ said that'd be pretty good.
Yes, it would be. It would be. That would be funny. Indeed, indubitably.
Yeah, indubitably. Oh man.
So, but yeah, the mascots we fly it. The instructors put it on and fly that costume.
Now,
It's better that way too.
How many locations do they have, Justin?
Yeah, Jason.
Jason?
You know what? You'll have to Google that one because they keep popping up. In the U.S., I think we're up to 42 now. 42 locations in the U.S.
Okay. Are they all the same
Yeah,
company
and
or
that's-
no?
That's iFly, right? There's something called Fly Away Las Vegas, I think. It's a different company. And then Europe, they have their own brand of wind tunnels, like ISG, Indoor Skydiving Germany, ISG wind tunnels, or I think Aerodome is another company in Europe. But iFly is the primary brand in the U.S. If not the only brand. You have to Google that one. If you Google how many iFlies in the U.S. and iFly, the iFly name is also in Dubai, iFly Singapore. iFly's name in England is actually Airkicks. The one in Tel Aviv
Like,
is called Flybox.
It's like hello, Dubai.
Right? And then there's one I think there's one in the Ukraine. And I don't remember what that one is called. Yeah.
TJ, get out of your cereal bowl and get on here.
All right. I am at work. I voted today, finally.
Oh, did
That
you?
was good. Yep. Stopping the gerrymandering vote.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Stand by.
That
Pardon.
governor y'all got went batshit crazy.
I don't understand why any Virginian in the first place would be like, oh, yeah, let's give our votes to California. I mean, these are votes for Virginia. Why would that even be a good idea?
Yep.
And then they frame it like, so that we can rebalance the votes. No, dipshits, you're giving away our vote.
Yep.
That belongs in Virginia. Doesn't need to go anywhere else. The other places have their own voters that can vote.
Well, Jason, what
Yeah,
I'm amazed,
our governor's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's
But,
what I was gonna say. What do you think of your governor?
what a piece of shit.
That's perfect military talk. It's, sounds just like me.
Yep. What a turd. I can't believe that the Virginians voted this person in office in the first place, number one. Especially with all the things that she's putting into place now. It's like, wow, you
Yep.
know. Bye, Donald.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Donald.
I'm gonna go ahead and come on. Or now that Jason's leaving.
Goodbye, Donald. Bye, Donald.
What? 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 That's not fair. I'm adorable.
You
On that note,
forget
I'm out of here.
one
Have
is,
a great
Okay,
day,
Jason,
everyone.
have a good day.
wait, sir.
He turned it about on me.
He did. He got you.
Mm.
Oh man.
That would be.
I got to
Giggles must
shoot at
have
1 o'clock.
he's got to be at work at 11. Giggles does.
He don't give him. He got time. All he's doing is sitting there eating.
Well, he says he's got to start getting ready at 10:30. What the hell's he do for a half an hour?
It's only 9:20. You got 30 minutes. Come on. I'm mad at you. Go. You gotta go. I'm mad at you. Oh.
You still feeding them chicken?
She getting a little bit of everything now, but not a lot of everything. The majority of her stuff right now is chicken. I went and bought a couple of cans of chicken. Just a little white, like tuna fish comes in a can.
Yeah.
So that way, like I got my alarm set now on that female Google device that tells me at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. give Cleo a pill.
Yep.
So I won't forget it. Because I don't think about it. That's one thing I just don't think about it. Last night she was up here till 8:30 and she went to the back like she usually does. And it said that and I hollered at her. I said, come get some chicken. And she come right up. Then she hung out here with me for about an hour and went back to bed. This morning she had a little piece of that cereal like she eats, a little piece of shredded wheat. I'm not going to give her anything until she's got food on the floor, but she's not eating her food. But I'll make an egg for her in a little while and give her a pill. That way she'll get a little egg in her. Y'all should have been on Drone Nation last night.
Why?
Woo, boy. Dobo came on in the chat and he was egging the shit on. And Russ,
Oh,
51 Drones. Well, they were talking about the, you didn't see it, did you?
No, I forgot it was on.
Yeah. So last night, on the panel, it was going to be Johnny. DeMarco didn't know if it was going to be here, but he showed up. Marcus was traveling, but he showed up. He got there 45 minutes before the show. Ron and Johnny popped on later, right? But Bill, the drone reviewer, Bill Horowitz. So Bill's on there, and they start talking. The first thing they're talking about is the Action 4 camera and how FCC pulled the license on it and banned it in the United States. One of these like Chinese drone things, you know? So the deal is 51 Drones puts out a video saying you can use it in the United States. You can't sell it in the United States. But if you're in the United States, you could buy it from somebody else and use it in the United States. That's the digging deep into it. So Marcus comes on. He says, "Yeah, I appreciate that he found that and that fine tuning and all of that went through that bill and figured it out." You know. Bill gets on there and he says, "You can't use it in the United States if you can't buy it in the United States or sell it in the United States like that." He said, because they say it's illegal. So Marcus come back and he says, but if you buy it from Canada and bring it to the United States, you can use it in the United States. It's like a Yahweh phone.
Mhm.
So
The
Bill,
only concern I would have is the app, whether or not you could download the current app with it in the
well,
US.
you can't. So Bill pulls up the article and reads the whole letter,
Hmm.
like he does, right? So Bill does that. So then 51 Drones comes into the chat and says, yeah, you, as long as you're not selling it in the United States, it says you can use it in the United States.
Mhm.
So Dobo jumps in there and says, hey, Russ, you piece of shit. He said, he says, you're nothing but an instigator like that. So then he says, and Russ says, I figured that's what I get from you there, Dobo, like that. Ken, that's all it is. So they start going back and forth in the chat. So Bill is all pissed off because he said he made the comment on 51 Drones about it, and 51 Drones took his comment down. So he's pissed now, right? This went on for about 15 minutes, and then Bill got so pissed off. He says, I just want y'all to know how angry I am. I'm angry. I'm really mad. Went off like that. I was waiting for him to jump off. He sat there for what about 15 minutes, didn't say a word, right?
Yeah, y'all made that man do that.
That was Dobo stirring shit.
That was Don's fault. Don started that shit.
Indubitably.
No,
Boy,
I
I tell
was
you what,
listening. I was listening until y'all said it, then I really started. But yeah, after the show, he's man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why he got so upset. I mean, it's just if you let 10 people read that, 5 of them will say it's okay, and 5 of them gonna say, but
I
it's
know.
like,
I know, but Dobo kept throwing stuff in the chat,
I
and
thought
Russ
he was
would
gonna get
answer
off.
it, and that's
I
what
thought
was
he,
start. It never
I thought he
stopped.
was gonna turn this camera off. To be honest
Yeah,
with
I
you.
was waiting. He did turn it off for a couple of seconds. I think he had to wipe
Oh, he
his
did.
eyes or something. I don't know. But him and Marcus got into it for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that was I don't know who started all that shit. I don't even know how Russ. Somebody must have texted Russ.
Yeah, I tell you, Russ jumped right. I bet you Ken text Russ.
Probably, probably. I mean, it's
Yeah.
possible.
And he told Russ on there, he said, he said, Ron, I don't know. You ought to send, and Russ and Johnny and Ron said, yeah, I'll send you the link, Russ, if you want to come in and defend your statement like this. I was waiting to see Russ come on. Ooh, that would have been good. I was
Russ
about to
ain't gonna
make some
come on.
popcorn.
He ain't gonna come on.
Yeah, he don't come on anything. Bailey, he came on one of the shows. Might have came on donation once.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but yeah, he don't hardly ever.
Yeah, he was on one of the shows. Just and I think it was donation. But he was on for a little while, and he just looked out of place, like he wasn't used to being on live.
Joe, you know you
But
wearing a Saint. You know you wearing a Saint jersey.
yeah, I'm wearing this because it's cold.
Uh,
I wear this
Don,
when it's cold.
Don, it's 65 degrees. He's cold.
What?
I'm cold.
It was like 67 the other day, and I was out in the dune buggy in a t-shirt.
I think it was 49 this morning. Wasn't it 50 degrees? I think.
Somewhere around there.
Don, your clock's wrong.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It says 5:30.
What clock?
I'm not giving you
Clock
all that.
behind
Go.
you.
Where?
Behind your big head.
What clock?
I don't see a clock. I'm looking.
Hey, Johnny, look behind that thing behind you.
What's that?
That table you got over there by the chair. That
What about it?
the little thing with the drawers on it. That looks like back of Paul underneath Paul's computer, all in wires.
I know. Look at it. That's all the wires for the internet and.
Hey, look at that shit. Look like under Paul's computer. You're missing the ship, Paul.
Yep,
Probably
I
got
got
a
it.
ship
I
passing.
got it when it came down.
I said,
Well, it
look at
didn't
that
stop you
ship.
before.
That ship
Yeah,
going
look
the
at the
wrong way.
shit.
That ship going the wrong way.
Yeah.
We need
Upbound.
to. Can we pitch in and send down a AA battery so you can change the clock?
Yeah.
I took the battery out of that clock because it ticks. But there is a screw in the wall up there, and I don't have anything else to hang there. And so I just figure that clock is right somewhere.
That's true.
Yeah,
least
every,
twice a
every
day, right?
12 hours, it's got the right
If
time.
you want, I can go up and I can set it to like the nuclear or the what is it, the doomsday clock.
Yeah, you can do that. Or you could just put a battery in it and let it tick.
So Johnny sold me a defective drone, man.
The tick all day long is a lot more annoying than you making fun of me for having a clock that's wrong. You're gonna have to try harder.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not even
it
making fun of
can't
you
be
anymore.
that
'Cause
loud, Don. You're just being sensitive to the ticking.
Yes, when you're in a room for 8 hours a day.
I can't stand. Look, if I'm laying in bed, I can hear a watch click. It's got to be absolutely quiet. I can't stand that.
Tick.
So Johnny sold me a defective drone. When you fly it and you put a light and legs on it, you can see the light in the picture and legs.
Yeah, and you made Bill
That's-
spend money. You made Bill spend money on that. Now he's got to send it back.
I didn't make Bill spend money on that. He bought them, and I'm glad he's sending them back. LC,
Morning, guys.
I see you're not
Oh
sequestered.
Lord, somebody about to drive in through here. I'm telling you. Yeah, I might take a little biscuit. Grab me a plate, Philip, while you ain't doing nothing. I'm coming.
I've got to run back in the house, guys. I will be back in 2 minutes. I'll leave my mute
Okay,
on, but
just mute it. That's all. Hey, the news just came up on my screen that our military just took control of another ship over there.
Look,
in
it's
Straits of
6:30.
Hormuz.
We boarded one in the South China Sea. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. How about you? You want to eat biscuit? Yeah. You got it. Yeah, very good.
No, I don't know. I don't like all this saber rattling.
Well, the saber rattling going to stop tomorrow morning when the bombs start again.
I don't like that. But then again, it's been too many years of talking and not backing up the talk that led to
Got a
this.
point. Yeah, that's what it did. Sending over billions of dollars in the middle of the night and a transport and cash, shit like that. That's funded them, you know. It's just all I'm saying is you can't end it now. You got to finish it. We got so much invested in it right now. You got to finish it. You muted, Johnny. No, you jumped. You probably got somebody there.
so Joe.
Yo. What?
So
Joe.
Did you sign off there, Lance?
Take your placard off your drone.
I'm taking off all the shit off the drone. What you talking about?
I think you could file down those legs, couldn't you? So you
No.
had a little bit,
No.
or would it take it all the way down?
Well, there is there is another set of legs out there that's a lot shorter.
Yeah.
Right? And
Right.
but you can't download the STL file. He won't let you download it. He's got it on there, but you can't download it. He's just showing it. Because I thought about that. I wondered if I could just make it a little, figure how the distance would be, just to give it another couple millimeters, you know?
Yeah.
But when I look at the whole thing, I'll put it this way. The film I got yesterday, it came out, I liked the video, it came out. It looked good, everything else. But I wasted the flight to me because, you know, all the junk in the picture.
Exactly. The drawback is when you turned your drone to look at the alligator, then your orange knobs came into the image, and that would have been awesome if you could have, you know, flown them without the landing gear.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
I did. Yeah.
So the video came out. I mean, I love the way it looked, how I was flying, how I was going.
Yeah.
I was going forward, showing backwards. And then when the music kind of slowed down and then started up again, I was going forward again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think the flight was good. I like it. And then the way I got closer to this little the marsh grass that was growing right there. How I made sure when I got close to it, I made sure I focused on that. You know.
Yeah, sure.
But you didn't see the one that I did with the oak trees. Because I got mad. I got so mad at it. It was so good until I was just all this shit it just pissed me off. So I just deleted the thing. But I went through a bunch of oak trees with Spanish moss. And I mean, I got this one tree out there that I call it the ghost tree. It's dead. It's about 60 feet high. And it's got about 4 big branches going off different ways. And it's like bleached white. And it just stands out, right? And I went around and I came back through it perfectly, just flying through it. And I went up through 2 of the branches, right? I went up about 40 feet and went through 2 of the branches. When I did the video, I came out, and as I came out underneath the oaks and everything, I'm looking up at the Spanish moss, and I come around and I'm going backwards, and then I start bringing the pan out so I can see the back as I'm going backwards, and I'm going up, right? And you're starting to see Lake Pontchartrain and everything, and all of a sudden, when you get to this one point, you just go backwards through the these branches, and all this big bleached white branches just show up, right? You know, when I saw that, I went, wow, like that, because I said, wow. And then I had the light and everything else, and I just said, damn it, I'm gonna go back and do this again.
How'd that go?
Wow.
There you go. So why didn't you like it then? Why did you take it down if it sounded good?
Well, it's just I had all that junk floating around in there, so I said I didn't want it.
Okay.
You know, that's the whole thing. You know,
and when you say flying backwards, you're not physically flying backwards. You're just turning the camera in post.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. Yeah, Logan said post the link. Yeah, here's the link. Here's the link, and it was a learning experience. I learned to take everything off the drone yesterday. You know, but I really do like the content of the video, and I could have, and like I said, that little 3-minute piece of video, I could edit it 50, 60 different ways.
Yep. And the key is start your keyframe at the very beginning of your video. And where you want to make a change, make a keyframe before you make a change to keep it at that same angle, and then go forward, 10 keyframes, and then, turn your drone so it's nice and smooth. Or you're going to get a keyframe at the beginning, and then where you want to turn a minute down the road, it's going to slowly turn until it gets to that keyframe that you turn. So, it's kind of a learning curve on how fast or where you want to look,
No, I haven't.
Adding keyframes.
I haven't been into the DJI software or I haven't seen anybody using it. Can you do an ease in or ease out on your keyframes?
Yeah.
Make sure you do that every time, or else it's going to look like a robot.
Yeah, because now what I was doing, now I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. This is a rookie thing. I'm telling you, I'm just learning. But when I started it, I found out that if I just keep my mouse on it as I'm rolling through just with the mouse pulling the video, I can do everything I want like I'm doing it in the keyframe, and I'm doing it as slow, as fast, and everything like that, and I don't have to do a keyframe. So I
Yeah,
can do it.
if you can do and if it's like the Insta360 app,
Yeah.
you can also record. You can basically look on your phone and you can frame up the shots with your phone and be recording and looking around with your phone after the fact, and it'll record those keyframes so it's like you have your phone turning it around looking.
Well, I didn't do it on the phone. I did it on a computer, but I
Mhm.
see it probably would do it. I
I'm
didn't
just
think
saying,
about that.
if they have that option, that's kind of a neat option too.
I did one on the phone. Let me see. I'll put it on there. I know I got it. I'm trying to think what to do with it. Yeah, it is right here. I did one on the phone yesterday. God darn it. I'm getting like Paul Murray here. Hold on a minute. Clicked on something. I got a screen to cover and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on there. I played around with it. Let me make sure this is the one before I start showing it. Now this is natural out of the camera, and this was on the. I pulled it over to my phone, and I've never edited on the phone, and I edited it on the phone, and it did not take that long. I mean, I was shocked. Where's the thing at? Hold on, it didn't show up. Not showing up. There it is. I'm not gonna. It's got music, but I'm not gonna play music. But this is directly. I don't know who came in. It was, oh, that's the other Paul. But this is directly off the. This is just on the phone with my finger, doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how I'm coming up here. This is just normal flight. I haven't even looked at it, so it might not even work. Hold on a minute.
What's up?
That's normal flight. It didn't do anything different. Maybe it didn't do it. See, on the phone, it might be completely different. I'll know in a second. There you go. That's what you see. I turned around real fast. That's how the phone's doing it.
Yep, and there's your floating leg nubs.
That's one of them. And then I zoomed into them, but it's doing it too fast. You can't slow it down.
Hey, go back to your floating leg nubs.
Who?
Your floating leg nubs.
Okay,
Floating leg nubs.
It's gonna be right after this.
He put legs on a 360 drone and was surprised that he could see the legs. But I just want to see the
light.
stitch. And then pause it.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Pause it. I want to see the stitch. I want to look at the stitch and see how that stitch is on that.
What are you doing? Pause it.
Go back to floating leg nubs and pause it. With the floating leg.
Fucking, there you go. Oh, that looks funny as shit.
But if you look to the edges past it, that stitch line is pretty dang sweet on that. That's pretty good.
So,
okay.
But the other video,
you're flying, so it makes sense that stitch line is good because anything that you're flying next to is going to be a little bit away from you. Your stitch line really starts showing up when you get in closer to the camera.
So if you get those legs a little further away, print out a 1 inch, bar on each side, and then create the leg nubs. You have to create a new set of legs.
Well, the bottom line, I don't think you need the legs. I don't think
Everyone
you need
says
the
you
legs.
need them. Everyone says you need them because the camera doesn't fully disappear when you land.
Yes, it does. It turns completely over.
Okay, there are a lot of liars out there then.
I watched it. I watched that thing right in front of me flip that camera around to the feet.
Yep. It's probably the people who are trying to sell legs that tell you you need legs.
Yeah.
I'm
And then you
telling
buy
you.
the legs
People-
and you think you're screwed. 'Cause I'm not going to use legs for
And
that.
honestly, I don't think people have had it long enough to be giving a bunch of fucking advice like that. Either. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Some
Well, I
people have
told-
only had it for less than a week.
Yeah, I told Bill the drone reviewer last night, throw them legs away. And I told him, I said, go look at my video and you can see what I'm talking about. I said, the ones I 3D printed for Johnny and I had printed for me for when I was going to buy one. So I had 2 sets of them. They're in the trash. I'm not going to use them.
But you know, he already reviewed those legs as being the best legs ever.
Who?
What do you think
Me?
I'm talking about? No.
Well, the other guy? Oh, you mean Bill?
Yeah.
I don't know if he reviewed them, but he didn't have them on the drone. He still had them
Yeah,
in the pack.
he probably hasn't flown it yet and looked at his footage. And
No,
that's what I figured when I saw your placard. I thought that placard is probably going to show in your video.
The
And
placard
it's
showed
very
too.
prominent.
That was in front of the light, and you can see the flat piece of it, then you see the light.
So here's the bad part. If we fly at night, we're going to have to fly illegally.
Mm-hmm.
No, if we fly at night, you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to put it back, and you're gonna have to have something where you can put it all the way in the back, but where the battery's at. And it's gonna be not on top, but it's gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That aggravates the hell out of me that you can't at nighttime. Now, the only thing I would fly at nighttime around here is they used to have a carnival that came and they went in this one area, but they built a small sliders restaurant there. So now I don't know where they're going to put the carnival. And it's a bright parking lot and there's nothing flying around it, but I'd love to fly that carnival with this. You know, get a little bit lower, because I did the carnival one time and I love the video.
Why not just get yourself an Insta360 on a pole and just walk through the carnival?
Yeah, that's another way.
Yeah, but then you'd have to pay to get in, and you don't like spending money.
I don't have to pay shit. I'll put a press pass on. I'll put my press credentials on, tell them that I'm doing an article for them. Give them some business. You know how many people will let you in with shit like that?
Like, what paper is it going to be in the Washington Post?
No, I'll tell them it's going to be on the web. It's going to be a website. Give them a website, and then I'll write about it, talk about it. I'll ask them a few questions. How long they've been there? You know how many different stops they've got on their little tour they do. I'll write it up, just a little paragraph, and stick about 15 pictures or video. You know. How many times have they come to St. Tammany in the last 10 years? Some stupid questions.
Do you have an Insta360?
No. The only way I'd have an Insta360, let me see if it's got something on the bottom. If this thing has a screw on the bottom, and I can put it on a monopod and hold it up.
Yeah, Joe, you don't ever really just film walking around, though. You take pictures to the schools and shit, but you don't really do any filming.
No, I don't. And I don't have to do the interviews 90% of the times. We have a writer with me. I'm just a picture guy, you know. Except when they tell me we need you to get the names and everything, then it's all on me. What's up, Mark? Did you hear what I told Johnny this morning there, Justin?
What did you tell him?
I told him, I told Paul, I said, Johnny sold me a defective drone. I said, when you fly it in 360, you see the legs and the light that's on it. The camera's defective.
Yeah, I think he needs to give you at least half his money back.
At least half. on Drone Nation, I was one of the topics about buying it from Johnny because they said Johnny was the first guy in the community, the second guy in the community to get it, one of the fastest to get it, and the fastest to sell it. And he said he said it's just, again, all about the editing part. It's not that hard, but he just don't want to sit there and do it, right? Like that. And then he said, you don't know, one day he might get another one. He's gonna get another one. I already know it.
It's not hard to edit, but it does add an extra layer to your edit time. And
about an extra 30 minutes.
but an extra 30 minutes. I mean, that's an extra 30 minutes and depends on how many shots you're doing too.
It
If you're
depends on
just
how
doing-
good you get at it.
No, it doesn't. You can't get away from the time. It still takes away from your time as an editor. So using it for every single flight,
No.
it just seems inefficient from a video
Yeah,
production standpoint.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it every time. Like I'm doing it now because of the
Well, yeah, you need to use it and learn it.
what'd you say?
You need to use
Use
it
it.
and learn it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm using it and learning
Yeah.
it. Now the end of the month, they've got the 3 days on the Trafalgar River, the poker run. Now they'll be out there the first day with all the big cigar boats docked along 3 or 4 across.
And delivered breakfast, baby.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, what is it?
Wendy brought it herself.
No, the guy, they have a Chamber of Commerce meeting every Tuesday, and he always brings Philip something.
Well, there you go. But that poker run coming up, I'm gonna fly that just a practice day and the poker run.
Yep. I'm going to show my son how to use it for when he's going up to Tulsa with his little Miata, and he's going to be in a little car show parade, a classic car show parade, and they're going to try and set a Guinness World Record. And it's going to be on
cool.
Route 60. It'll be on Route 66, and that's going to be a thing. I'm like, okay, well, you need to get the 360 up and going.
Yeah, that will be good.
So I'm gonna get him hooked up with the GoPro
66.
360 and
You see, last year when I did it, now I just did a little. They had about 6 or 7 boats along the thing, and I was just kind of panning them like this with the. I think I had the Mavic 3 up, and I was panning them, just doing. I wasn't even. I was paying attention to what I was flying.
You
and I
were
was
looking
looking
for
at the boats,
bikinis.
but I wasn't paying attention to what was going on the boats.
yeah,
I didn't see
think
the
you
girl
are
come out and flash
accurate
me.
there.
When the girl come walking out and flash me, I didn't see her when it happened. I saw her afterwards in post. Which is, I'm kind of glad I didn't see it when it happened.
Why?
I would have went over there, gave him my card, and said, "If you want to see the film, I'll show you." Hey, no expectation of privacy when you're in public.
No, if they come out and flash you, they're volunteering, especially if you're flying were you flying a drone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So flashing a drone, you gotta expect there's gonna be a camera on it or something.
Yeah, I tell you what, I would have went. I was gonna go over there and see if she wanted to volunteer anything else. But
I would do. I would act like a person who has seen a pair of breasts before.
I didn't see him till I got in post. I hadn't
I
had
get
one
what
flash
Donald's
me in a long time. Let's put it that way.
Don't act like a 16-year-old teenager that's never seen boobs before.
No, it wasn't a 16-year-old teenager.
Lord.
No, I get what Donald's saying though. You go over there and play it cool like you don't care. It
Yeah.
ain't no big deal.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
It's not. It's a pair of tits.
Well, in most cases, it's a pair.
It's breast. You can't say tits. You can't say tits no more.
Why not?
I don't know. It's probably like too politically correct or something.
Probably
That'd
have
be
their own
politically
their own
incorrect.
safe word for it.
No,
Pronoun.
I would say a pair of tits is less offensive than saying boobs.
Breasts.
Breasts, yeah.
Breasticles.
There you go.
Breasticles.
I don't know. Some of these guys walking around French Quarter got breasticles.
I was gonna say, until last year, you would have had your own pair that you could have gone home and looked at that were probably the same size.
See, yeah, they're a little smaller now.
Nothing wrong with saying you've seen a couple of little pet things with blue and yellow.
Hey, Donald, about 6 years ago,
We're in the elevator.
about 4 to 6 years, it was before Nick went to the Marines. He was in here, and Justin was in here, and they said, "Whatever happened with Miss Season? Whatever happened with that? Why didn't y'all keep dating?" I said, "She just we went out a couple of times, and she was more worried about marrying somebody in the ministry over at Church of the King. That's all she talked about, wanted to marry a minister, right? So she did marry a minister." They said, "Well, why you don't have another girlfriend?" I said, "Baby, look," I said, "Look, all I got to do is walk to the back when I'm up in bed, reach over, grab my own breast, and there you go." I said, "If I want to feel one, I can feel myself right here."
Oh, you went out on a couple dates with a girl and she kept talking about wanting to marry somebody?
Well, she was telling everybody that before we went out. We went out a couple of times. We worked together, and it wasn't dates. You know, we went ate one place, then we went to the Pelicans game.
You definitely aren't a minister or a priest.
No.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought you that.
So it
Can't be a
was funny.
priest.
Yeah, I'm not a priest. I wouldn't be a priest.
Too late for that. Lance, did Lance get his 360?
Not yet.
Any status on it?
I asked her this morning. She said she would know more tomorrow, but I'm guessing it's going to be early May.
When did you order it?
Last Friday, but she had trouble packaging it, it sounded like, and it really didn't send it until yesterday.
Oh yeah, Lance does a lot of 360 flights, and so you're gonna have a brand new camera.
Yep,
Are you gonna retire your old clamshell?
I am.
I was gonna say you're the only one that I know of that has been consistently doing 360 drone flights.
What are you trying to
Yeah,
say?
that's
beat
what
around the bush.
That's what I've said too.
Yeah, Lance
A lot
does.
A lot of people buy. I've seen so many people buy the 360 camera, and then they use it a few times and never touched it again.
Well, they buy the hype that it's going to be the one camera to rule all the cameras, and it's not. It's not that convenient. You need to buy it. You need to understand what it is and what it does, and why you need to use it.
There'll be so many 360, about a 360s to sale in the next 60 days and 90 days. That
Once people realize that it doesn't make things, they sell you how simple, and it's, you know, it's going to be so awesome. The X5, the Insta360, they sell you on let the AI edit your video for you, and it's really awesome. No, the AI edits like crap. It's a crap video.
Now, why do they want me to pay my bill? It ain't even May, June. It don't come till July the 1st. Lord have mercy.
I'm sorry, guys. This is the slowest April on record.
That's because you're retiring. That's what it is.
Exactly. It's like I told that to my wife this morning. I said, I don't ever remember an April being this slow.
Yeah, just
Wait
wait
till May.
till May. It'll go slow.
I know.
Wait till you're waiting for that first check to come in. That's like when it's really slow.
It's been flying by for me.
And you're gonna get up at midnight and check your bank. Say it hit last night.
Yeah.
Mine hits the third Wednesday of the month. And my one from Winn-Dixie hits like the third of the month or something like that.
Ours changes every month because you get paid every 4 weeks.
Oh, you're retired from Winn-Dixie?
I worked for Winn-Dixie for 22 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, man.
Yeah. Well, I had.
Were you a manager?
Yeah, I was a market manager. I was a butcher.
So you were a district manager?
I was a market manager. Meat market.
Oh, meat market. Okay.
Give Cleo her pill.
Oh. No, I turned down a district manager because I didn't want to put up with them yo-yos. For the meat, well, they called it meat specialist back then.
So I got my notice just now on that female Google device. It went boom, boom. Give Cleo her pill. And Cleo's laying there. She looked up at me like, what? When you get that pill, you know you should get that pill with some chicken.
Yeah, Brenda's husband's finally retiring too. She said in May or June.
Well, I only had my full one because Winn-Dixie went bankrupt about 3 times during the process. Damn.
Yeah, which I think they're pretty much about shut down. I think most of Winn-Dixie's around here.
Every one of them was shut down now.
Hey Johnny, was that them girls on that golf court?
What's that?
Was that them girls driving that golf course just now?
I don't know what the hell that was.
God darn it.
It wasn't me.
I thought we still had one in Dundee. Let me see. Let's see.
We got a big Winn-Dixie. We got a Winn-Dixie warehouse here. I don't know. I guess it become Aldi. I mean, it became Aldi, but I'm not sure about and they make all the milk and ice cream here.
Joe, did you get your prescription sorted out?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, we still got a couple Winn-Dixies down here.
When the Davis brothers sold the Winn-Dixies, that was the end of the Winn-Dixie. They were from Jacksonville.
What, did they sell it because they just wanted the money or what?
I mean, it was the dads had it, then the brothers took over, and I mean, then they just went to shit after that.
What they sell? Who'd they sell it to?
I mean, it was a company that kept Winn-Dixie, but I mean, it was downhill ever since, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be a good company to work for, but man, they went to shit.
I know everybody raves about Publix. I said, wait until Publix said they keep getting bigger and bigger and they keep expanding out, so eventually they're going to lose that. Companies start getting to a certain size, man, they start losing their customer service and all that shit.
That's like we have that, and Joe knows we got what they call Rouse's here, and I think they have 75 or 80 stores, but I'm sure that their intent is to get bought out, and then it'll be some big crappy grocery store that takes over, you know. And it won't be the little. I mean, they're big stores, but you know, a 75 chain grocery store is, I'm sure, worth a few bucks, you know.
Well, the more locations you start getting and everything, I mean, your quality control is going to go down. Going to go down too.
Yeah,
because you can't visit, like, you know, being the CEO of like Walmart, you can't sit and visit every fucking Walmart that you have. It's just there's not enough days in the year to be able to even physically do that. So you're kind of relying on your district managers, and there might be certain ones that are shitty.
Oh, it's Bill's birthday today. Bill Ronayne.
Yeah.
Birthday, Bill Ronayne.
Birthdays are overrated.
How old is he now?
Bill, I think is I think he's 66, maybe.
I didn't think he was that old.
I thought it was 65.
Yeah, maybe
Oh,
so.
he's in a 60.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
Yeah, I'm sure he said he was born in 61.
So what you saying? Uncle Bill's a little man? Little man.
Joe, did you get your subscription sorted up or not?
No, I did not. I
Hey,
need
Joe,
to check.
send me
I
the
need to go
link.
there and check on it and tell them
I can't hear
run
you guys. I don't know
run
how you
insurance because I
can
can
does
order it
this.
online right now for $12.55. I'm about to order it online through and have them just mail it to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is this: it's got to stay cool. So how they going to send it to me cool?
They sent it in a container.
You know, I told you. Did I tell you what my insurance at Walmart? They're telling me that the Manjaro is going to be $4,000.
Have you tried the discount though?
No, my insurance should be working because I checked my insurance. My insurance is all right. So I don't know what's going on with this stupid place.
Is that for 1 month or 3 months?
3 months. $300 a shot. More than that, actually. So you got 12 divided by whatever it is. It's about $340, $50 a shot.
You take one a week.
Every Monday. I got 1 shot left. Actually, I'm gonna probably go online and order it and have them just send it to me for $12.55. You know, that way
Yeah,
I don't
all
have to
they're
deal
gonna
with.
do is send it in the styrofoam box, either ice packs or dry ice.
That's what I'm thinking.
And Sarah's dad and Sarah's mom have gotten medication delivered for years. That's
But this one's got to stay refrigerated, so that's why I'm thinking they have to pack it some kind of way.
yeah, they'll send it in the styrofoam, really thick, like heavy duty styrofoam container. They're actually good styrofoam containers. You can reuse them and make like ice chests and shit out of them.
Yeah, I know some.
Yeah, they just send ours in a box with plastic ice packs.
Yeah, that's usually what we'll have in it is ice pack. Because normally it's coming from somewhere that's not too far. Still.
Probably come from Walmart right here.
Now it probably come from Medline right here.
No, it'll come from wherever else they get their medicine from.
When I order my stuff from Blue Cross, it comes from Hammond from the Medline.
Really?
That big building they built out by the airport.
Shoot, they might deliver it to me. What are you talking about?
It's a big warehouse. It was in Mandeville and Covington. They moved over here.
Let me look and see this shit.
I remember when the pharmacy van used to show up in Walmart. It was just an all white van. No markings on it or anything.
They could fly it to you with a drone.
Yeah,
Drop it
yeah,
off.
right.
The guy I was waiting for, he was at the wrong cemetery. He was talking about the city cemetery across the street.
Yeah.
He interrupted my breakfast.
Okay, where did I see this?
Oh, Miss Sue's in the chat. I haven't said anybody. What's up, JDS, TJ, Brenda?
Looked under my coverage.
No.
Logan.
It's a beautiful sunny day here. It's 56 degrees, but the wind is 26 mile an hour gusting to 46.
Prescription drugs. Estimator. Yeah, they got all my drugs listed. Everything I take.
Yeah, usually it'll be delivered. UPS delivers a lot of the medications.
Let me see.
That's who we usually get it from. Is either UPS or FedEx. That's what. No, normally it's UPS.
Hey, look up something at Home Depot. Let me see.
Yeah, it tells me. See, I know what I think it is. I think the fact is that it's telling me I get it every 100 days, $12.65,
Joe,
right?
send me the link. Send me the
Okay.
link, please.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. I get the prescription. It says every 100 days. I got a feeling that that's why they're trying to charge me the whole bunch of it, because it's not at 100 days. You know what I mean? So what is the freaking? I'm tired of this 100 days bullshit. I didn't send it. Who sent it?
It's usually 90 days.
Yeah, every 3 months.
Yeah, that's what it is. But they're telling me 100 days on every freaking prescription, stupid asses. How'd you get in? I didn't send it to you.
You know what it is they might be overlapping a little bit, just so when they resend you your new medication,
Yeah.
they don't have to worry about you not having enough to make it through. You know what I'm saying? That might be why they do it that way.
Well, technically, I got to look at the amount. I bet you that's what it is. I'll call. I need to go in and say, okay, what's the 100th day? You know, it's bullshit.
No, I think that's why they're doing it, because it's coming through the mail. They want to make sure you have enough to make it through if there's any kind of shipping delay or anything.
Dueling lances.
Yeah, I have to walk for mine every.
Are we not off? I should be. My second one should be off.
Yeah, it took a while for it to disappear.
It always takes forever for it to go away.
Okay.
Well, let's see.
Somebody dying?
More.
Gonna go grab some coffee.
Okay.
Be right back.
This is what it's saying. Unable to apply coverage. And it says see details. It's going to say unable to apply coverage. It's 84 days coverage. Let me see when I received it last. You know why? January 29th is when I got it. So they're making me wait 100 days.
Even though you don't have any left?
Yeah, that's what they do. I ran out of pills already because of that shit.
Well, that's crazy because if they only give you 3 months supply, 100 days is nearly
More than 3 months.
More than 3 months.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Well, you just need to call them up and see what's going on, because it could be a mix-up or something.
No, that's what it is. I guarantee you, because they've done that to me with other stuff. I've ordered it. It says, "Are you ready to refill?" Because they're giving me the notice, Walmart. So I'll go ahead and say, "Yeah, refill it," and then I'll go to pick it up. When I'll have 2 prescriptions in, and then I'll get there and they'll have 1 prescription. You can't get the other ones too early. I said, "But y'all send me the refill notice." And then when can I get it? And they'll look at it and I'll be like down to about 3 pills, and they'll say 10 days. You can get it in 10 days. You know, it's like I've been out of pills for 10 days with a lot of stuff. It's ridiculous.
You're using a worse pharmacy there than Walmart.
Could still call up your insurance company and complain to them about that and see what they can do.
Set it up with home delivery.
That's I'm gonna switch
You got
all mine
Blue
over to home
Cross.
delivery.
You got Blue Cross. Use the Express Scripts.
Yeah, I don't have Blue Cross. I got United Healthcare.
Yeah. Well, so what do they use? Which one?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me who they use. I have to go back and look at my coverage. It tells me I could order it online. If I order it online right now, it says $12.65. If I got to skip a week, I'll skip a week. It don't matter.
I think I'm going with UMP Classic. That's what the insurance I'm going to go with. And it's nice. It covers my daughter. I mean, we got to pay for it, but
yeah.
get my daughter on, keep her on the insurance, which is good.
Well, why don't you just get her married to that guy and he could pay for the insurance?
Hey, Joe,
There
you're
you
the
go.
host.
Couple kids.
Looks windy and foggy, Paul.
My dad just called me and told me about he was going to the doctor yesterday to get shots in his knees to make it where he can walk because he has pain in his knees and they give him some collagen injections or something. But he went to put on his shoes yesterday morning and his feet were swelled up so bad he couldn't get his shoes on. So he had to go to the doctor with house slippers
How
on.
old
He
is he?
gets home.
Take fluid pills?
Well, wait. He gets
He's
home
got-
and he spends the day in his recliner with a pillow under his feet to get his feet even more elevated.
Right.
He didn't find out until this morning that he had gone to the hospital. He'd been in the hospital a while back. And when he was in the hospital, my mom moved his shoes. He had spent yesterday trying to put on her shoes because they have shoes that are almost identical, little black Skechers. So yesterday morning, instead of looking at his foot and saying, "My foot looks normal, this must be the wrong shoe," he just thought, "Oh my God, my feet have turned gigantic." He can't get my mom's shoes on, just assumed his feet were swollen. Spent the entire day with his legs elevated.
That's funny.
I hope you meant cortisone, not collagen.
Yeah, cortisone. That's yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah, collagen is what they put in their lips, in lips
Yeah.
to poof them up.
Yeah, which would explain why his legs were swollen up.
Yeah, but no, he told me that. I was just laughing.
I'll tell you one just as funny. My mom and my cousin Carol, every day they went shopping somewhere. They just walked the mall, do something, right? So my dad needed a pair of shoes, and my mom knew that. So she went in and she knew his size and got his size, right? She had the exact size he's supposed to have. Brought the shoes home to him, and she said, "I knew you needed some shoes here. I got them for you because they're on sale." He looked at him, so thank you. Thank you for doing that, thinking about me like that. So he put them on, and he walking around and said, "Damn, these things aren't right. You sure you got the right size?" She says, "Yeah, look at the size." He checked, took them off, looked at the size and everything, put them back on. He said, "These damn things got to be running small. They're hurting me. Like they're hurting." So he walked around a couple of days bitching about the shoes, right? My mom says, "The shoes are the right size. Stretch them out a little bit." So he gets there and he puts the thing in there, stretches them a little bit, puts them back on. In about another 2 days, he's bitching about them still. Now this is about a week gone by, right? I remember this. Him saying, "These damn things, if my toes hurt, my feet hurt," he said, "this has got to be the wrong size shoe. We're gonna bring them back." My mama takes one of the shoes, looks at it, reaches down in there. They had stuffing down on the foot, down on the toes. He didn't take out. He didn't take out.
Joe, I asked Sarah about it.
Yeah.
Since she does all that insurance shit. She said it's not the pharmacy that's denying a refill. She goes, when they go to pull it up, they're getting an alert from the insurance company not to refill it.
Not till 100 days.
So she said you need to get a hold of your doctor and the insurance company and let them both know what's going on.
Yeah. I'll call the doctor and tell him I'm trying to do this refill, and they tell me I can't get it because I got to wait 2 weeks after I take my last shot to take it. Let the doctor call him up and bitch because he's an asshole. He'll call him.
Well,
He
do you
walked
take
by
an
me the
injection
other day. What?
Is it once a week you take the injection?
Yeah, it's just every Monday.
And how many do they give you?
They give me 12.
12.
But the thing is he gets to that last
84
he
days.
gets to his 90 day, or he gets to his 90 days, and he has to wait an additional or
I got to wait 16
additional
days.
10 days.
Yeah, he's got to wait 16 days.
16 days. I got 84 days worth. I got to wait 16 days.
Exactly.
He said,
So I
she
gotta
said
wait.
So they
because
sent
your insurance company will actually allow you to get refill when you're down to 80%, but you have to call and
so
talk to them.
2 weeks that you can't take an injection in that case.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell
Right.
him that.
But Joe's insurance, she said Blue Cross Blue Shield does allow prescriptions to be refilled when you're about 80% way through them.
Yeah.
So that would be, once you're getting down to your last like 2 weeks or a week and a half, you should be able to refill. So there's something with your insurance company that's telling a pharmacy not to do it.
Yeah, I'm
You gotta
looking at it
figure out what that is.
on the insurance site. It says 100 days. That's what
Then
I'm
they
saying.
then they should send you enough to last 100 days.
But
I
the
agree.
thing with the insurance companies, though, is a lot of times they have policies that favor the shit out of you, but they don't tell you about them unless you ask about them. You know what I'm saying? They just won't do anything until you call up and say, well, I have this in my policy. What the fuck? And they're like, oh, yeah, you do. Sorry, sir. Then they'll fix it for you.
You want to tell them when you phone up to find out about it that you only send me enough for 84 days. Why can't I only renew it every 100 days? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like car insurance companies will do that too.
Right.
Tell them. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll only pay for 84 out of 100 days of insurance then.
Yeah. Okay. I wish I could do that. I was gonna leave here today about 11 o'clock, go fly to 360 somewhere and get the footage I want to do without the lights on it, and get underneath the trees and everything like that. But I want to get a good southern look shot with all the moss and everything, right? To make that look kind of cool. But it's I don't know if it's raining, but it looks like trash outside.
Yeah, it's cloudy right now.
Yeah, yesterday it cleared up just in time for what I was doing, because it looked. I tell you, I can't say I got the editing down, but I understand it better. But Lance said something about doing the keyframe in the front, and you said the same thing. I think that keyframe in the front's gonna make a big difference. Doing that whole, I can still move it around where I want to, right?
Yeah, once you make that keyframe, so what it does is that keyframe says, this is the start of the video. This is where I'm going to point. I'm going to point this way until you change it, until you add another keyframe. But if you go down a minute and change the keyframe and say you do you turn around backwards, from the start to that keyframe, it's going to slowly start to turn backwards.
Yeah.
You might not want that. You might not want that. You might want to say, okay, at the minute mark, I want to turn it around. So you need to make a keyframe at the beginning, go to the 59-second mark, make another keyframe without changing any of the view. So it's going to stay in that view until it gets to 59. And it's still going to stay there.
Do you need to have the keyframe at the beginning then, Lance?
At 60, when you change it, it's going to then flop to backwards. Don,
But
what
Lance,
you
do
say?
you need to have the keyframe at the beginning? Most software, when you're keyframing it, if you don't have a keyframe, it looks at the first keyframe and applies it back to the beginning. Like After Effects, you don't have to put a keyframe at the beginning. You just have to put a keyframe at the beginning of the first movement.
That is correct. And for me, best practices for me is I always keyframe so I don't forget.
Gotcha.
That's best practices for me. I keyframe and then I move, because if I don't and I go down a minute and I turn it around, it's like I'm screwed. And now it's now from the beginning to that point, it's turned around.
Right.
And so for me, logically, keyframe.
You put a keyframe at the beginning. Okay.
Hey, y'all
That's
gotta
just a
quit giving all
workflow
these-
issue for you. Okay.
Yeah, y'all got to
I was
quit
gonna
giving
say-
all these editing tips. Johnny's gonna want it back.
Will y'all speak English?
Come on, Johnny. You know you're gonna order another one.
I'll be right back.
No.
Now the real key, they probably don't have it, but you said they have ease in, ease out on the keyframe editor. They probably don't have any type of motion graph where you can change the speed of the keyframe. That's more of a
Yeah,
high
you
end
can.
thing on After Effects. You can
You can
change the
take the in and out faster, slower, and then the speed of the
They
video.
didn't have that on the I don't know about the phone, but on the studio part.
Yeah, you change the key, the speed of the videos, everything.
yeah, I'm talking about the speed of the keyframe change. So you can front load. So a lot of times if you do ease in, ease out, say with After Effects, the keyframe, it'll ease it, but it's a linear to a certain extent. You can go into the motion editor and you can front load the keyframe so it goes really fast at the beginning of the keyframe and then eases really slow, or reverse it. You can make it kind of come in and, but it's being able to tweak those keyframes even more down to a granular level.
So
And
Joe, if you
I like
click
doing that too.
if you click in between the two free keyframes, it gives you a line, and that line tells you, hey, how do I want to ease in and ease out? And it's going to, there'll be some mountains and there'll be a straight line, and so you can click to decide how you want to ease from.
Oh, is there on that
keyframe
software?
to the next. Say that again.
Is there on the DJI software?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's on that software.
So it's exactly
It
the
lets
same.
you do
Yep.
ease in and ease out, but it lets you get a little bit more. You still get that smoothness of the keyframe, but you can make it a little punchier.
Okay.
Because sometimes just your default ease in, ease out starts to just look like.
Why are we
mush.
listening to Lance? I want to hear the expertise of Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny's still spinning. He's like, what?
Johnny, you guys leave Johnny alone. He's busy mopping the floor.
Mopping the floor?
Mr.
Hey, they
Clean,
got to update.
Mr. Clean.
They got to update the DJI Studio. Now it's gonna have all the features on it, like the phone.
Donald, the thing I hate about Insta Studio is when it gives you updates, I have to delete the whole program and then download the update.
Sarah was talking
it won't
in the chat,
overwrite
yeah.
the old one.
Hmm.
Kind of a drag, and that's on my PC.
I called Sarah to ask her about it. I was like, is there anything you can do about stuff like that?
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna contact them.
You guys will make me want to get out and.
Yeah, because sir, they're making me wait like 16 extra days after I've got an 84-day supply, but I gotta wait 100 days.
For done at 9:20 a.m. Service appointment at 1.
You guys make me want to get out and shoot some
at school
video.
I hate DJI Studio. They say they got DJI set up. Everything's in freaking Chinese, and they say yes or no.
DJI. You're at the wrong site.
He's at the DJI website, not the DJI.
Well, when I finish loading it, it goes into English, but everything comes in freaking Chinese.
Not Chinese, it's Mandarin.
Or whatever freak it is. It's an orange, right? Mandarin orange. Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Look at this, man. That's a nice drone.
Mandalorian.
Hey, Justin, you remember the other day we were talking about Deuce Bigelow?
Yeah.
And that scene, that's a huge bitch. It came on the other night. The other night it popped on my Instagram feed. That's a huge bitch.
I ain't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, he's walking down there talking to her, and he's coming up to her waist, and they're saying, "Freak, bring her back to the circus."
Yeah,
keep her in the circus. Freak, that's a huge bitch.
Oh shit.
That's
I like how he
funny.
becomes like a damn psychiatrist to all of his clients.
Yeah, that was funny. That is a good movie. I might have to go watch it again. When they came out with the the
That's when Rob Schneider
VHR
had his shed.
DVD, the VHR and DVD recorders, right?
You mean VHS?
That's what I mean, VHS and DVD.
Yeah, no, stay away from the acronyms today. You're fucking them all up.
Oh, hell with you, okay? But
DJ.
DJ, I said DJ.
Yeah,
I'm
a
thinking
few
of
minutes ago.
I'm looking at DJI Studio right there. So so when they came out with the DVD recorder, right? I had it, and I had HBO and a couple other ones. So every time a movie came on, I recorded one and I printed the label. I found their poster and printed the label, right? So I might have 380 movies over there. And then I bought some, so I might have a total of about 500 movies. I don't watch none of them. None of them. And my DVD.
Dude, I remember when
Yeah,
TiVo first
player
came out.
my
That was like the
TV.
coolest shit ever.
Now you spent all. What do you think about all that time that you spent making those?
I know, I
DVDs?
thought about that.
That's gone. Now I'm gonna let
Well,
you
they're
know.
not gone. They're still there.
Yeah,
They
but
work.
but it's gone. But you don't watch them, so basically it's a bunch
It's
of
dust
DVDs
collector.
that are just dust. So
Landfill.
what you have just described is your 3D printing.
I don't know how I like you, Donald. I don't even know how.
No, in 10 years, you're gonna look back and you're like, damn, I wasted so much time doing that 3D printing stuff just for dust collectors. Throw this shit away. And you don't think you like me just because I spit the truth.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, go. Got to run
What's
the
up, Dre?
Rouses, Joe.
Later. What's at Rouse's?
Gonna pick up some more pork chops.
How much? Same thing?
Yeah, they're $1.27 still.
A
I might have to
piece
stop there on the way back.
or a
No.
pound?
Boneless pork chops, no. The whole
That-
a half a loin. They're only like, I don't know,
I
$5-6
don't like
a
the
piece.
boneless ones.
So that's the one you bought. How many you got off of it?
Well, you cut them out. I could get about 20, 22, maybe 23
About a
off.
half inch?
No, I don't cut them. No, I cut them thinner than that.
Oh, okay.
I like the bread.
Oh, you buy the you have to cut them yourself. Okay, that's why you get
Yeah. Oh, they'll cut them. They'll cut them for you, but I'd rather cut them myself.
What do you cut them with?
My knife.
Oh, all the way through the bone. All the way through the
Boneless.
bone?
Boneless.
No, it's
No,
boneless.
it's the boneless. They take
The
the bone
boneless.
out of that.
That you need some type of big old saw to cut them.
No. I have to
Bob?
give Joe. I have to give you a good knife. I got some good knives from. I used to sell those knives. The 6-inch boning knife. Be the only knife you ever use.
Really? It's nice to have friends in high places.
Oh, you didn't know.
That's why you're friends with Don.
Yeah.
He teaches you those cooking lessons.
How to make gumbo out of a can.
Don would be going crazy at the potato place. He'd be like, "Oh my God."
I made loaded potatoes last night for dinner.
Loaded potatoes. You should be fixing a clock while you in between the cooking of potatoes.
Yeah. Exactly. That clock bothering you?
Oh, here comes a fire truck.
Justin, when he was little, he'd say, fire truck.
There.
Hey,
Now
Fire
tell me,
truck.
hey Don, there's a nail sticking in your wall that doesn't have anything on it.
well, hey, Joe will print you something. He'll print you a 3D print to hang up there.
I would rather shit my pants, wait for it to dry, and then stick it up there.
You want me, that's what you're saying you want?
What?
Make him a shit clock, Joe, with the little curves
I'll
on there for the numbers.
I'm making my hot dog to hang on the wall.
What are you breaking on your drone, Joe?
I'm putting the SD card in.
Hey, did I
That's
leave?
awesome.
Is that my SD card? Did I leave that in there?
I gave it back to you. Shut up. I said I made sure I took it out and gave it to you because I didn't want a bill.
Yeah,
You just send me a bill and double charge me or charge me the
SD
current prices.
SD card is like $50 now. Shit.
But actually, that SD card that you stuck in there was the one I won from you.
Is that a Samsung?
Yeah, it's the Samsung 128 I won from you. Remember?
Yeah.
That took you 6 weeks to bring it to me.
Blue label.
Yeah.
Try again, you were a bit quick, I was still scanning them.
I was gonna put. I got that extreme that I was gonna put in there. That's the 256 I got. But I don't think I'm gonna need
No,
it.
it's not done anything there. Oh, wait, it's
No.
doing it now. Gonna go slow, I think.
I'm waiting. Keep that extreme like it is in case I need to buy gas. You know, I just go to the places. I'll give you this for 10 gallons. And you'll say, okay.
They had 30%. No, they had 27 cents off a gallon on the upside.
You like a receipt? Just
I'm gonna have to get that out.
See
You
what they
just
got
sign up
today.
for it, right?
Look, 24 cents a gallon off.
$4.93
do
at
that.
Costco.
But how
Like
long
I
does that
said,
take? How long does that take to get it though?
I don't know, like a day or two. 27 cents at Circle K for the shell.
Yeah, and then if you do the 7-Eleven deal right now, you get 30 cents off your next two fill-up.
We don't have one here.
Yeah, I ain't going to 7-Eleven get shot.
Oh, is it in a bad area?
Now we don't have no more 7-Elevens.
No, they're
So
all over here.
upside just takes it off at the point of sale, but you don't get nothing back, right?
Yeah, they give it back to you in cash. I got $92.32 right here. See right there, 92.
Oh yeah.
I got it. Hey, don't get it. Let me send you the invite.
You're getting an affiliate link.
Absolutely. Plus, you get more off. You get like it's gas is $3.19 with this. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, 'cause if I could do that, I'm gonna start buying gas other places instead of having to go to Sam's every time.
I got $432 back since I've had it.
Wow.
I mean, you got to
Yeah,
buy
send-
it anyway, so.
Yeah, send it to me. Send me your affiliate link.
No, it's just a.
$4.93 is the cheapest it is up here in Seattle.
Oh, Lord.
Oh. What does it say today?
All right. Plus, hey Joe. Plus, you get they got it on food. You know what? We over there the stuff where we go eat, you get 6% off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
You get Taco Bell, you get 37% cash back.
Damn.
Domino's Pizza, you get 37%. Hey, what is this? Joe, you ever heard this? Is that Church? It says Church's Texas Chicken.
Church's Chicken?
Huh?
Yeah, churches in what you call it.
But Church's Texas Chicken.
Why does it say Texas Chicken?
I've never heard of that before, unless they changed the name.
And it's Railroad Avenue. That's why Church's Chicken is. Look, stuffed potatoes and all, 6% off. Hey, it's something. Yeah, I got $92. I'm gonna have to. Oh, the sun's coming out.
Yeah, that means I might be able to fly later.
We're gonna go in the morning.
Yeah, I could go tomorrow.
All right.
Where we going? Coquille?
I guess.
It's up to you. You tell me. Think about it.
It don't matter. I mean, that's good as any. Unless we go. Well, you already been by the Chafonta there, huh? Might be some boats there tomorrow though.
Maybe. Either that or we can go to what you call it. Go to Fairview, the park. We haven't been to Fairview in a while.
Talking about right there past the bridge, where we
Yeah.
go, where you chase the girl in the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, later.
Later.
See ya.
Y'all made me mad. Y'all made me mad. I'm upset. I'm really upset. I'm really upset. Lance must not watch the show last night.
Yeah. You missed it. You need
Loser.
if you have yeah, if you didn't watch the show, you need to go back and look at that show.
You made me really upset, Lance. You
Later,
really
Bob.
upset.
Okay,
I'm
I
doing
better
an
watch.
I'm doing an imitation.
I think it's finished.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Don,
I
here
might
you go. Look, that's all you needed right here. Look, here you go.
Mhm.
I might have to go back and watch it again and pop some popcorn first.
Wait till tonight.
Oh yeah, tonight's gonna be. I'm gonna definitely watch that shit tonight.
Fireworks. What show?
Bill.
No, Drone 8. Well, it was on Drone Nation last night.
Yeah, but so build the drone reviewers on tonight.
Yeah.
I need to get your list, Johnny, your updated list.
Yeah, it's on. I put it on the Fly for Fun page, but I can email it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
We got
wrong
about-
already.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
Why?
Well, Philip Koshak. You said every other week or every week?
Well, Philip told me he's doing it every week. Then he says he might do it every other week. So I said, well, it's too late.
Yeah, it says every
He
week.
told me every other week,
week.
and somebody's chatting off the line.
And I'm glad I'm glad you fixed Paul Murray's. You
Wow.
put Paul Murray's chair in Friends.
Paul Murray, what?
Paul Murray's chair in Friends.
Yeah.
Gotta change that for the next one.
Chair in Friends?
Yeah. Paul
You know, he
Murray's
leaves
chair
and he
in
leaves
Friends
his
when
chair.
he leaves, you know?
Oh, yeah, Paul Murray chair. Yeah, that's what we'll just change it to that. Paul Murray's chair.
Yeah.
Oh, we can
Paul
put where
Murray's chair in Boston Creams.
Oh, we could do where Paul was.
Upside, create an account.
I'm gonna do TJ's. We're gonna just make it the TJ show. TJ.
How about Paul Murray's That's Funny and Pretty Good show?
Yeah. That's pretty good. Where is Paul? He went to do a ship.
He's back.
Oh, Paul's right there. I see him. I didn't have it over enough. Who is no script? Oh, that's Justin. His computer is not wide enough or
See
something.
you, Bob. Have a good day. He's probably been gone a while.
Who was that? Bob
Bob, he
Casey was
left.
there. Sorry, I didn't even look at the chat. I haven't been looking. Dre's in the background too.
Dre's always out to lunch.
Anybody know if Lloyd's all right with him not going on last night?
What happened to Lloyd?
Nothing. We just haven't heard. He didn't go on last night. Didn't say anything. Just didn't
Well,
go on.
sometimes your life gets in the way of things.
No, sometimes your life gets in the way of things.
Can't have been that serious because Paco didn't know he wasn't on.
Oh, Dre's talking to you, Lance
Okay.
or Johnny.
I don't see that in the chat. I see Don's.
I'm really
is the-
upset. That was classic last night. He said.
by Bob.
Yeah, he's talking to Johnny. Let's say Johnny.
He said, "Yeah, I just want y'all to know I'm really upset right now." Oh.
What are you doing?
Up, W.
Yeah, my chat's acting up on me again. Da-da-da-da. So I have this one parent who always turns in, like this year, she turned in her son's senior portrait late. She's turning in the senior ad. Today is the due date. She emailed me yesterday. How do I pay for this? And I had to explain that to her. And I said, and tomorrow is the drop dead due date. I can't take anything after tomorrow, which is today. And she's gonna complain because she's not gonna turn it in for a day or two.
So
No more headaches
She
with
had
that.
plenty of time to do it.
No more headaches with that. That's what I was doing, checking to see how many days I have left.
Till what? Till you retire?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, and
Damn.
38, 39 minus 7. 39 minus 7. So 32. I have 32. The kids have
Almost down to
39.
your last month.
Are you ready for this? Discount zone right down the street from me, $1 at 1.3 miles, right? 56 cents, 58 cents a gallon back for $2.98 a gallon. It's 250, it's 356, but I only pay $2.98 a gallon. I'm gonna be right by that place in a little while. I'm gonna need gas. I might just go fill it up for that shit. That's not bad.
£1.53 a gallon at the moment. £1.53 a litre, I should say.
I'm gonna have to get used to doing this editing on this a little bit. Because it's a little different.
So that equates to about $5.60 for one of your gallons.
28 on the 6th.
What's Dre talking about? He says he almost had to send Bill a virtual tissue.
Yeah, because he was crying last night on the show.
Who was?
Bill the drone reviewer.
Uh,
He was all pissed off. Yeah, he was him and
oh, was he live last night or something?
No, he was on with Drone Nation, and it was him and 51 Drones and Dobo and Marcus. They were all kind of getting into it on the show about the Pocket 4 being being taken off the FCC list, and Marcus saying that you could use it in the United States, but you can't buy it in the United States, and that's what 51 Drones said. And he was adamant about, well, if you can't buy it in the United States, it's illegal to use it. Like this. I mean, you can't sell it in the United States, not buy it.
Did Russ ever
Well, if
come
it's not-
on the show?
If it
No,
didn't
Russ
get
did not
FCC
come on the show.
approval,
Okay.
if it didn't
Because
get
I'm
FCC
about halfway.
approval, it is illegal to
I'm
use
about
it.
halfway through the show, and I didn't see Russ. I know that they were talking about him.
No, they said that it's not illegal to buy it if you can get it outside the United States. But if you can't sell it in the United States. In other words, if you buy it, you're stuck with it. You can't sell it to anybody, but you could use it. Basically, that's what he was saying.
With the caveat, Joe, with the caveat is we don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
This is what we're assuming.
If it didn't get FCC approval, then you can't use it. It's illegal.
That's what I would think.
Right.
But, again, that's the caveat of what we're talking about now. We don't know unless we're a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. No, you guys thought I was. So I didn't get picked for jury, so it was only a 1-day thing. And one of the 6, they picked 6 from our group, and then they had another group come in the afternoon, and they picked 6 from that group, I guess, to make 12. But one of our 6 was a lawyer. She said, I want to be on a jury.
False info out about the Phantom 5. What?
And what they do is they seat you 1 through 40 in the courtroom, and 1 through 6 are the ones that are in unless they get booted. And none of them got booted. All 6 of them that started in that seat ended in that seat, and that has not happened in the past with me. Number 1 almost got booted because it was his birthday on Friday, and he had plans to go to the ocean, and he was like, I'll give that up. I'm okay. I'll stay. And they kept him. But he had said he raised his hand for a hardship. First thing they do is, anyone have a hardship that they're not going to be able to stay for the whole week. And a gal right in front of me was a nursing student. And she said, I have a test on Thursday and Friday. I thought, good for you for saying that and getting out of this. And as she was they dismissed her. And as she was walking out, I said, good luck. And then the gal next to me was a nurse, and she said, yeah, good luck. And then I said, turned, I said, yeah, my daughter's in nursing school now. And she said, I'm a nurse. I said, oh, okay. But I was number 35. I was originally number 6 on the email, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to be in the hot seat. But then they reordered everything once you got there, and I was number 35. I thought, there's no chance in hell I'll ever get to number 6, because what they do is if one of them gets dismissed, number 13 moves into that spot, or in this case, number 7 would move into that spot, and then they would slowly work through the group of folks, and they would not get to 35 because they only get so many we want to boot use. I think each side gets like 4. So what they should have said is 30 through 40 can go home right now. We and not sit through all that garbage. There's no way they were going to get that far.
What's up, Dre?
Domestic
surprised
abuse.
You know about the Phantom 5 fallout.
Yeah, I don't know what you were talking about there.
Oh, that happened way back in, I want to say 2017 or 18. I really didn't know who Bill was, but I remember hearing the fallout from it. And he said something about this, DJI Phantom 5 was coming, and this and that and everything else, and Lon lit him up. And I mean, Lon went on him so bad, the man was just about in tears.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get in tears last
real
night.
bad that Bill's wife even reached out to Lon to tell Lon to leave him alone.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever see the letter he sent to Dan?
No, I didn't
Dan
see
got an actual cease and assist order from him. I saw the
okay,
letter.
it might have been over the same thing because I think it was Lon, might have been Dan that was on
Yeah.
him about that information, dude. And they were riding him hard.
In the letter, it said he's a well-respected member of the drone community, and they were like trying to send a cease and assist out because they said he was getting harassed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so it's not the first time he has thrown himself out there and don't like the repercussions of what people like Don Doss says about him and stuff. Well, I don't know what was going on. I mean, I was half listening last night and I was doing something else, and I think I got up to go in the kitchen to get something. I come back and he says, I just don't want to say anything right now. I'm just so upset. I was just like, oh my God, here we go again. Is it like every 10 years?
Yeah,
And
when he
then
said
there
that,
was
I
that
went and
one,
got a beer, man, and peanuts. You know.
and then there was that live stream he was doing, like, what was it, probably 4 or 5 years ago, when he yelled at his wife on the live stream.
I missed that one.
That was what started the whole thing with Dan, and then he ended up getting a cease and desist order from him. I saw it. He showed it on the live stream one night.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, we all don't know everything, and there's always going to be someone who knows a little more or has access to information and that we may not have, and sometimes you just got to listen. But don't get all butthurt about it. I mean, my whole thing is this: the DGI sending you a paycheck every week. You know,
What do they say, Dre? They say if you're the smartest person in the room, you need a bigger room.
Yeah, you need to go to a different room.
Yeah.
That's always my thing. If you're not learning something, it's time to move on. You know. Well, I was just like, I sat down and I heard what he said. I'm like, what the heck happened? I was only gone like 45 seconds. And I was like, what is going on in here now? You know, I mean, it took Ron to kind of talk him off the ledge a little bit there and change the subject and kind of reel the chat back in. I was like, oh. But he'll be on tonight. We'll see what kind of mood he'll be on tonight. But I mean, one thing he has to realize, he has to have the same attitude as Marcus. Marcus admits he's a fanboy. He likes buying the low end, you know, entry level drones, and that's his thing. You know, it's like I don't go in there and complain to those guys and say, for the amount of money you spend buying all these small drones, you could have bought you a bigger one and be satisfied. It has all the bells and whistles that you wish these smaller ones had.
Yep.
You know, because I don't hear them talking about, you know, oh, they want to go out and get the Maverick 4. You know, they'll sit there and buy the Mini 3, Mini 4, Mini 5, and their Vadas and every other Potenzic and whatever else. And I said, you put all that money together, you should have got you a Maverick 4. And you would have been totally satisfied.
That's because they're trying to stay on their view count, and they can't because there's not
that's
always a new DJI to review.
right. That's the whole thing. And that's why, you know, I don't say too much, because I'm just thinking that, okay, if you keep want to have all these bells and whistles, you need to step up to the plate and pay the money. Just like buying cars. You can go out there and buy the base model, or you can go out there and get the Scat Pack. You know, it's up to you. But don't sit there and complain the base model don't have the big Hemi V8 and all this kind of stuff when you know good and well you didn't want to spend the money.
Yep.
You know, I'm sitting here right now shopping every day. I want to get a Matrice 350, but they're hard to find. The only one I got two on the hook. One's in Japan, one's in China. I can't find a U.S. Distributor that has a Matrice 350 for sale. Got a bunch of 300s, and I may have to go with a 300. And we're still talking about anywhere starting off just getting the basic controller and the drone, no camera, no batteries, around $6-7 grand. So, like I said,
So there's like no used ones or anything for sale.
that is the used market.
The problem with those enterprise level drones is that people don't fly them for a week and then get rid of them. They fly them, they work them until they die.
Yes.
Because they are a tool.
I reached out to DroneWorks and I talked to Zach and he says, man, I can't hardly find a 350 anywhere. You know, they're just
and the fact that things that are squishy with DJI, I mean, people are holding on to those things.
Yeah. I mean, I that's what I'm saying. People are hanging on to them, and it's kind of funny because I can get a bare bones basic Matrice 400, $9,000, but that means I have to upgrade other things that I have also because the Matrice 400 doesn't work with the RTK2 GPS system, and I don't want to go out and buy the RTK3 just to work with that drone. That's another $2 or $3 grand right there. So that's why I said the 300 and 350 is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Did you try talking to Dale in Seattle?
I reached out to, I did go to Dale and he never responded back.
Yeah.
You know, because he had the price he had of something was a little high. And I said, okay. I said, at least I made an effort to reach out. If you don't respond, it's like Zach. He told me on the phone. He said it'll take me a while. When I sent him an official email, he never responded either. So, like I say, you know, there's a Panorama has a very excellent condition 300, and I got a battery case. Together, it probably cost me about $7,500. But like I said, that's no camera, and I want to be able to use the L2, which basically used goes for about $6 grand by itself. Brand new, they cost almost 20 grand. But like I say, you know, you pay for what if you really want to get what you want, you got to pay the money to get it.
Oh, yeah.
So we shut this down, you'll be able to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna shut your computer down.
That's just the name of the game.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Okay, that works for me.
So I've been checking eBay every day. There's another 300 down in North Orange County. I think it's down in Westminster area.
For 1 minute and then it just
And they're
stops.
talking about just the drone, no battery charger case for 7,000, some change.
So I do it from my other laptop. Stream it to the TV because it wouldn't.
You'd have to go out and buy all the accessories for it.
Yeah, I may have to, like say, piecemeal this together. I'm trying to keep my budget below 15,000.
Only have one day.
Nobody selling one with a camera.
It was number 35, and I thought, there's no way I'm gonna get that. You know,
So if I can keep the price of the drone controller somewhere around between 5 to maybe no more than 7,000.
As they don't say they don't like the
Charging case, the battery average price for a battery is around $390 to $450. Battery, one battery, you gotta have two, so you might as well say every two batteries might cost you about a little over $800 for every two batteries.
We're gonna go past 20.
Yeah.
So you want to start off with at least four batteries. That gives you two sets. So you're talking about
Yeah,
another
they called twice.
$1,600 just for the first
And
four
the
batteries.
first time I was gonna be out of town. To travel, they dismissed it. And then the second one, I was teaching summer school. And so the principal.
So it's like I said, I'm trying to stay within a budget that I set for myself. Yeah. But last night was hilarious, dude. It was just hilarious.
So I'm taking them two were in the chat then. Dobo
Yeah,
and
because that's what shocked me. I saw Dobo, say something in chat, and then 51 Drones said something in chat, and they put it up on the screen, and that just sent Bill off the deep end.
oh, give me a timestamp. I want to see it.
I imagine it probably happened right around the first 30 minutes. But they only stay on for hours. So it's right around the 30 minutes. Because after that, the show kind of got off the rails and Ron had to reel it back in. And, they had DeMarco over there. DeMarco was just giggling his ass off.
Thought Ron and Marcus were both still in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought Marcus had just got back earlier that day.
Yeah, 45 minutes before the show.
Yeah,
All right.
he just got back. Yeah. Yeah, but Justin, if you scroll through it, just look for when I guess you'll see Dobo's comment, because Duran brought it up, and I guess 51 Drones made a comment, he brought it up. I didn't hear the previous conversation about, then I caught on when he made a little statement later that, based upon his belief, his interpretation, and this is something I said over a couple of years ago when I saw this coming down. I said, the issue you got to look at, you still may be able to buy these products outside the country, but will it be legal to fly in the country? Because like I say, if it's FCC approved, you can. If it's not FCC approved, that will be the question. If you are stopped or something happens, will you face additional consequences for flying a drone that is not legally authorized to be flown in a national airspace? And people brought up the Yahweh phones and stuff, but
it's shipped here to the United States.
But the Yahweh phones it's a private use thing. It's not, so like I say, we fly drones in national airspace. So that's public use. The Yahweh phones is private use. Your phone is not part of the national network security infrastructure, because that's where they all got banned from. You can't buy a Yahweh phone from any noted cell phone carrier. You have to buy the phones outside the country or from an outside entity, and it goes from there. And then most times it's going to be a phone that's, as they say, it's jailbroken or whatever you call it, where you can use with any carrier pretty much.
Yeah, an unlocked phone.
Yeah, unlocked. Yeah, that's the term. Unlocked phone. Because like I say, none of the carriers actually support it. So no matter who your carrier actually is, you may not get all the functions of the phone.
The question is, if it's banned off the FCC, is the Pocket 4 available for use here?
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of brought up was the Pocket 4, was the conversation about the Pocket 4.
He said you can't sell it here. That's what he said. You can't
it's not
sell
approved
it.
for sale.
But you could buy it in Canada and bring it here.
Yeah.
Or buy it from China and bring it here.
Yeah.
And that's what Bill was adamant, saying you can't do it. If they say you can't sell it here, you can't buy it here.
He contradicted himself by saying that when you're buying stuff from, what's the lady name, Evelyn or whoever out of Korea.
Yeah, that's not buying it here.
That's right. You're not buying it here.
I know.
By saying,
and that's what DeMarco tried to tell him.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Well, I'm just really upset. I'm really upset.
Yeah. I said you're contradicting yourself because you're doing the same thing. Things are not,
you don't know how upset I am.
yeah.
I was about to ask her, how upset are you? Oh, he would have, that would have done it. I'd have lost a wrench, and I'd have lost a wrench in his show. I don't think I have a wrench in his show. I could have done it anyway.
Yeah, I got on his nerves during football season when I kept trying to get on his case about you guys want to fire one of the winningest coaches besides Chuck Noll in the Pittsburgh Steelers history, and you don't have a replacement. I said, who are you gonna replace him with that has the same pedigree that what's his name had? And he said, well, he thinks better than him. And then as soon as the old boy walked out, they hired somebody he definitely don't like. You know, the old guy from Green Bay.
Oh, that guy's a.
If you get that,
he used to be the offensive coordinator for the Saints. He sucks.
Yeah. So that's why I said, now you're gonna eat the words you've been barking all season about Tomlin and stuff, and now you got somebody who you even more dislike. So what you gonna do now? I said the Steelers, you better hope they have a great draft.
Well, Jimmy John's got $6.99 sandwiches today. Look out.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you buy it outside the country and get it into your country, they can't do you for owning it. But as soon as you switch it on and it sends a signal out on the airwaves that it's not licensed to do, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, because he's trying to use the example of the ham radio, some brand that's been banned for 30 years or whatever. And says, if you turn this thing on, blah, 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 blah. I said, dude, it's no different than the drones you guys are buying from Evelyn over there. I said, if you can't buy it off, going to your local Best Buy or Amazon from America or B&H, Anorama, whoever else, or regular distributors here in the States, there is something to that notion that these drones are not authorized to be sold, or even equipment, camera equipment, not authorized to be sold.
You want to get Bill a drone reviewer going real bad? You turn David loose in there with him.
You're muted, Don.
Just pretend I said something intelligent.
Okay, we'll believe you.
Yeah, put David in there. Lord help me.
No, I mean, yeah, it can be sold, it can be flown, but you are operating something that it's on the airwaves that is not sanctioned to be operated on.
Correct.
Our airwaves.
Yeah.
It's just like you can buy a car. You could back in the day, you could buy a Volkswagen from Mexico, get it up here, and you could drive it on the road, but the emissions were not legal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you could get in trouble for the emissions. It doesn't matter if you got it, everything else done correctly on it, and you're driving. If they pulled you over and decided to test your emissions and check, it's like, well,
right. Like I say, it's about if and when you get caught or inspected, that's when the problem occurs.
But chances are you'll never ever.
Yeah.
They're not going around with little sniffer radios to catch you on using unlicensed frequencies.
Yeah, I just started shaking my head, laughing. I mean, Bill's he's a good guy for the most part, but he's definitely one of the people who have absolutes. It's his way or the highway. Even though his highway might be both traffic running into each other.
Well, when you get that butt hurt that easy too, it's going to make you a target for people, because I guarantee we're only doing that to get them riled up.
And when you do that, like I say, you may run into somebody who has access to more information than what you have, and it's not going to be about what you believe. I always tell folks, I can't argue how you feel. We can argue about facts, but I can't argue about feelings.
Well, upset is a kind of feeling.
That's my whole point. He feeling, he's upset.
I'm upset. Okay.
Oh my God, dude. I'm watching it
People
right
don't
now.
agree with his interpretation.
He's
you
like,
know.
I'm upset.
Now
I'm
he's
upset.
upset.
He said they
I'm really, you don't know
misconstrued
how
my
upset I
comments.
am.
Yeah.
He's old enough to know that the world does not grind to a halt because you're upset. I mean, most of us grow out of that at a young age.
Most. Some of us carry that baggage all our lives.
I haven't watched it though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
got
said,
to,
I
you got to go
came
back and
right
at least
in the
watch a
middle
few
of
minutes
it.
of it.
I'm like,
It starts at about 20 minutes.
about 20 minutes. I figured it's right to go. I said,
Yeah.
I got up, went to the kitchen, came back, and I'm like, what happened? And then somebody asked him a question. He says, I'm just too upset. I can't even talk right now. I just like, oh my.
So basically, he threw his dummy out of the pram.
Yeah. That was a very British.
Yeah.
He threw the dummy out of the pram.
Johnny
It
said,
means he threw his binky out of the stroller.
Mhm.
Johnny said he would come back on the.
We call it pacifier or a binky. A lot of people call it a binky.
Go ahead, Justin.
I was going to say, Johnny said he's too upset to come up on the panel because Don's clock's not correct.
How does he know? It's not on the wall anymore. Checkmate.
So I definitely have to peek in this evening and see what kind of mood he's in. I thought he'd been doing pretty good lately.
He wasn't doing too good last night.
Oh, I need to
Like I
blow
said,
this.
Some folks just need that one little trigger and bow.
I need to blow the front of this Mac out.
But like
It's
I said,
getting
you never
kicked out.
know who's in the background because I think how often does Dobo and Russ come on their show or even make comments in the chat? Very, very rarely. And that's why I said he needs to have the same or start to have the same attitude as Marcus and just admit to himself, hey, I'm just an enthusiast. I like the small drones. That's where my budget is at. And I need to stop talking about all the things that, this and that and everything else and how we should be. I said, my biggest thing when I hear these guys, I'm always want to help to encourage folks. Yeah, okay, everybody who wants to get into the drone thing, start off at the low end. Don't spend a lot of money, but encourage people to take the trust test. Get your Part 107. Even if you don't want to make money, get qualified. Become qualified. That's my biggest thing. I said, we as a group need to be able to form an organization that will advocate for us on a consistent basis. And that's where I would say duped, but I was very disappointed in the AMA because, like I say, my older brother was trying to get me into RC planes back in the 80s.
There's no reason why the AMA should have rejected drones.
Yeah, there's none.
But they aren't the real. They're not the real. They're not what we do. So it's just.
But like
it's a calcified organization that they don't want any change.
Yeah, the AMA should have had the mindset that if we get more members, we get more revenue. And we have a bigger pot.
Yeah.
And that should have been their mindset.
And not only that, it's like we have all these people who are picking up these drones, and we have so many years of experience navigating airspace.
Yes.
And flying safely.
Mm-hmm.
All these years of experience flying the fixed wing and the helicopters and stuff. Why not bring in these?
Yeah, because the numbers speak for itself. There are fewer people flying RC planes than there are people flying drones. So that way you increase your membership you do your part as far as being an advocate for the airspace for everybody, but your membership continues to grow and have I would say more significant.
Yeah,
body.
in the end, the majority of
Oh
all
my
of it is
God.
just toys in the air. That's the
Right.
majority of it. It's just toys in the air.
Oh, yeah. He's going off right now about Huawei phones and ham radios.
Yeah.
Huawei phones, yeah, you can use them in the US, but half the shit isn't going to work on them.
Well,
So
that's
why
just
would
my
you buy
point.
one?
You get an unlock one, and then whatever carrier you have, you'll get the basic function, but you will not get the full function of the phone.
Not even close, because Google services won't even work on it, which is the main operating
Like I say, you'll
system
get
for Android.
basic usage. That's it. But like I'm saying, that's what kind of baffled me when I first got into drones was where was the AMA? And I even asked questions. I said, where do I sign up at? You know, I'm looking for go to this link to join the AMA and all this kind of stuff. And everybody said, no, AMA had nothing to do with us. I'm like, what?
Dumbo said someone mute his mic.
Yeah, Dobo was being an asshole. Dobo was being Dobo.
Oh, is the chat on the live? Can you play back the chat too?
Oh, I'm just going by the ones they're putting up on the screen.
They screenshotted Doble's statement and also Russ's.
The chat hasn't re-uploaded yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the live chat hasn't. Well, the live chat hasn't re-uploaded yet, so it's not there yet. But they're putting all the important comments that are getting him fucking fired up on the screen, so you'll still be able to see
them. I just say Ron kept putting them on the screen, and he would just get lit.
Okay, I hate AI, but
there's your dune buggy.
That is.
That looks more.
I
like
uploaded a picture of my dune buggy.
Old,
I said, make a cartoon version of this. I uploaded a picture of my dune buggy. Make a cartoon version of this.
Well, you know they stole it from the old cartoons from the 70s.
That doesn't look like Speed Buggy.
Yeah, it does.
No.
That looks like Speed
Buggy. It doesn't look like Speed Buggy any more than my dune buggy looks like Speed Buggy.
Well, I'm just saying this give it a color of it wasn't red, like a burnt orange.
It was orange.
The Speed Buggy.
It was orange. The rear tires were far larger than the front tires on Speed Buggy, which these are similar to the size of tires that they're front and back. Yeah, this does not look like it. Looks like a dune buggy, but it doesn't look like Speed Buggy.
Okay, I know you have a personal affinity for that.
Yeah,
as someone who has a dune,
very definitive eye.
As someone who has a dune buggy, people are always comparing it to Speed Buggy, so I know what Speed Buggy looks like. This picture looks more like my dune buggy than it looks like.
Let's pull up a picture of a Speed Buggy and let's look at them both.
Okay, let me do that.
51 Drones said you're upset because you don't understand the law. FCC only regulates commercial sale and imports. Has nothing to do with individuals.
That's what lit him up big time.
Well, I'm just an old chunk of coal.
Yeah, Justin, that's what lit him up. I was like, whoa. That's what you're talking about. I can't talk right now. I'm so upset.
Here we go. Doesn't look like Speed Buggy.
No, it doesn't.
Good job. Now that's what I call bringing facts to the table. You bring up the information.
Training conversation goes over like a turd in a punch bowl. Fucking people, I swear.
Just an old chunk of gold.
I love how Drone Nation's trying to say they're not taking sides, but yet they keep putting all the comments up there that I know are going to piss them off.
They keep throwing them up on the screen.
That's because you don't want to piss them guys off, you know?
That's the type of channel, though. I bet he gets a lot of trolls in his chat. If not, he's lucky. When you get a butt hurt that easy, dude, people will come into your chat just to fuck with you.
Just to agitate you, yep.
Just to try to fire you up.
This thing he could have done last night, since he was on the panel, is that he should have brought up the law or whatever he was stating as a reference. He said, well, this is what I read. Boom, post it.
Well, and then he's going by personal experience too. He's like, because
Yeah, well, that's what he talks about, the ham radio stuff. I said, no,
Yeah.
dude. I said, you know, ham radios is one thing, drones is another thing. And I'm like, you should have went off, because basically he was trying to quote a law. FCC, whatever, memo or whatever. You should, I would have said, let me bring this up so everybody can see where I was reading and where I got my information from, and my opinion is based off what I read.
Yeah.
Because that's what he just kept going back to. This is what I understood what it said. This is what the law says. Well, you better bring the law up and post it so everybody can read it.
There you go, Dre. There, I'm gonna go back into this artwork. I'm gonna add my black stripes to the front of it, but
Oh, that's not yours with the black stripes?
no, mine is the one with the black stripes.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yours with the black stripes. That's
So
what-
I'm gonna go back into the picture. The cartoon does not have the black stripes. I'm gonna go back in and add black
okay.
stripes.
Yeah.
But so see, it looks more like my dune buggy than it looks like.
It makes your dune buggy look like a Jeep.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Stripped down Jeep. Because yours looks like it doesn't have the rounded curves as the cartoon one has. Yours is like more angular.
A little more angular, yes.
Right. That's why I said it looks like a Jeep.
But it did get the lift on the back tire, that
Mhm.
line correct for the Safari Trail.
Mhm.
Oh.
And there's other things. The roll cage is not quite accurate, but I'm going to ignore that.
I wouldn't be nitpicking about that. I mean, some people don't have a roll cage, some do.
Oh, Jody, I was talking about it was 20 minutes into Bill the Drone Reviewer's live stream when he
Yeah,
started.
not in this
Or
one.
not on the Drone
Drone
Nation's
Nation.
live stream.
Yeah,
Bill the
Drone
Drone
Nation live
Reviewer
stream.
starts going off around 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it took about 10 minutes to go over that whole little bit there. And Ron had a walking back off the edge. Yeah, I thought he's going to just go, blank out his camera and
He did turn his camera off for a while. I kind of skimmed through the rest of it. He had it off for a little bit, and then he
I
came
was
back in.
half paying attention. I was like, oh man. But I had my headphones on and I was watching something else on TV. But tonight will be I would say maybe must-see TV. See how he does his show tonight. Because they talk so much about that 360 so much last night, ain't much he can say about it tonight. And that's thanks to Johnny, wherever he's at.
Got an appeal in for this insurance shit with the state, right? So I don't hear anything about it. I get a letter yesterday saying my case was dismissed. Well, I was never given a hearing because I make $16 too much to qualify for them paying my Medicare.
Oh, $16?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, into June, they'll up the minimum amount, so I'll be qualified again.
Hmm.
So so I didn't hear anything when they said before. So I said I haven't heard anything, and now you're giving me a cutoff date. which is the end of next month. They give me a cutoff date, so I put an appeal in again. So they
Mhm.
received it on the 18th, but this is dated the 16th.
Mhm.
You know, so now I got to find out what the hell's going on, or you're overlapping me, or you didn't give me and never gave me a hearing.
Yeah.
I said I've given you all the paperwork. There was no hearing. I'm supposed to be on the hearing with you.
Does that Booster
that.
Club pay you under the table, or they send you a 1099 in the year?
Well, I get 1099s, but I'm able to write enough shit off that I actually can with my deductions and everything. I could write enough
Right.
shit off. You know.
Okay.
You know how that works.
Yeah, I definitely know how it works.
Yeah. So they said
I actually
my
kind of
appeal is
broke even
dismissed.
this year.
It terminated as of the 15th. Now the 18th they received my new one
Mm-hmm.
because they haven't said anything about this one. This is the first time I heard of it, right?
Mm.
So I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, here's an additional piece of information to put with all the information I've sent you. That
Yeah.
now they want to charge me because they're saying I'm going to put it on there because of not having the coverage. It's going to cost me $4,000 for this one medication.
Ooh.
Right? I'm going to say, so that's $4,000 on top of the $2,600 a year I got to pay for Medicare, on top of the rest of the medications I don't have prices for yet. Over $16 that y'all will change in 2 months and say I'm qualified for again. I told them just get on the same page as the federal government.
Yeah.
You know, don't disqualify people till after you decide your cost of living thing.
Now you're on Medicare A, B, C, D, E, F, D, whatever.
Well, it's called a Q1 status.
Q1 status.
A QI status, a Q1 status. It's called Take Charge Plus in Louisiana.
Okay, 'cause my mom, she was on Medicare, try something, but basically it was Medicare A through E.
Mine
or
should,
whatever
mine,
it
all
was.
I get is the $204 paid, but then I got to do the other stuff myself.
Oh,
So it only just covers the $204, and then insurance gives me $100 a month to do what I want with, and I paid my electric bill with it. So
yeah.
that's another
I'm just trying
another
to figure
$1,200.
out now what
Oh,
part.
your mom was with the TRICARE?
Yeah, she had TRICARE.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what. Do you have a VA hospital close by, Joe?
What was it?
Do you have a VA hospital close by?
Biloxi.
How far is that? That's in Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi. There's actually one in Franklinton, which is not that far from here, but it's trash. They don't take care of you. It's just trash.
Mm.
You know?
Because I'm just wondering why are you dealing so much with this Medicare stuff when you should be getting most of your services to the VA?
Yeah, I'm probably going to start doing that.
'Cause that's what my dad gets all his stuff from the VA, but we're right here next to Loma Linda, 15 minutes away.
Right.
Well, I mean, as far as benefits and stuff, my dad is doing quite well because they right now they're paying my nephew to be my dad's caretaker, and that's about $3,800 a month. My nephew gets paid, plus my dad gets another payout from VA for disability for his hearing and in his eyes.
Right.
And stuff. So that's why I was wondering, why are you dealing with these knuckleheads when the VA should be paying you money or whatever else that you need?
Yeah.
Your carers get $3,800 a month.
Yeah, I'm the overseer, and my nephew is actually the employee, and they're paying him $3,800 a month to be my dad's caretaker.
Our carers get £330 a month.
A month?
Yeah.
They ain't enough to live off of.
They ain't enough to me to spend 2 days with you.
Hmm.
And that's because I know you.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, dude. Like I've said that before when David was telling me how much they give Laura, and I'm like, dude, that's not even enough for somebody to live off of, but they want you to be a full-time care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should be
Yeah.
making at least a couple £1,000 a month minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy too is David, the way David or Birdman explained it to me was they take it out of his check to pay her. And I'm like, well, what good does that do?
That's because he's on benefits. With mine, my sister is classed as my carer, and she just gets the full amount on top of my disability.
No, I get that. I don't understand why, even in David's situation, you literally have two people living in the same household. You're paying one to be a carer, but you're just taking the money out of his check and handing it to her.
Yeah,
That
that
don't
doesn't
help
make
them.
any sense because you're cutting back on his benefits and you're giving it to her as a caretaker. I said, wait a minute. He still
that should be
needs
separate.
money to pay bills and eat and everything else. And giving it to her don't help that.
Yeah, that
Yep.
kind of shit don't make sense. It's like it should be a whole different budget.
Yeah.
And it's not like I said, if they're gonna have where they're
Oh
paying
shit.
caregivers like that, they need to pay them a monthly wage.
What's
At
wrong?
least
You
the
want to
bare
read it?
minimum
What's the
of whatever
matter,
a
Joe?
job would make you.
I need to read this thing in full.
Yeah, okay,
I'm up
what
here
you find
bitching.
out?
I'm
Okay,
here
Bill.
bitching. It says, I'm reading it now. I got to the point where it says, was dismissed. I said, bitch. And I put the away like that. Now it says, the Louisiana Department of Health, right? It says, has rescinded the action that the subject of the appeal and will continue the eligibility.
Okay,
Oh.
Bill.
So
So you're saying you're eligible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or you read it upside down?
Yeah, I'll read it like this.
He read the first paragraph where it was dismissed, and then he didn't read the second paragraph saying they will continue with the
Yeah,
current.
it says, file the request for a fair hearing. It says, decision on the existing Medicare coverage of the TAKE program has been dismissed, right? That's what it says, right? I said, well, shit. It says
Yeah, but it's been
LDH has
dismissed
rescinded this
in your
action,
favor.
and the subject of the appeal will continue the eligibility determination process. So therefore, the matter has been settled.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, that's the same shit they did me last year, but they didn't give me this.
Bro, you were about to call and push some, customer service agent that deals with government contracts every day. Send them right over the edge.
I didn't tell them I had a college degree or nothing, so shit, the hell with y'all. That feels better. That feels a lot better.
Well, glad everything's working okay.
I was in the middle of, I was typing that letter too while I was going. So I say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, do not say it.
Looking at that chin there, Mr. Doss, like you can stand little whiskers on it.
Yeah, Agnesha.
As they say, give you a little House of David.
Well, we're gonna get you one of these.
Oh no.
No thanks.
You can fly it with the RC2 you got.
I don't have the RC2.
Oh, you don't have
I sold
RC2.
that.
But you need an RC2. You can fly it just like you
No,
fly
he
the
never had an RC2. He had just two RCs.
No, I had an RC2 and I sold it with one of the drones that was using it.
You had it with the Neo.
Yeah, the Neo.
And I think you sent it to him. I think you sent it to Lance. Yeah, but you can take the RC2 and fly around the ship with this thing, and then go back and use your finger and move it around and get better pictures.
Then with the RC2 as well.
You barking? Oh, about time you barking. What? She barking at me. That's the second time she's barked now in 4 days. She was sick, Lance. I mean, Dre. She got sick.
Oh.
Yeah, I put the other day, Friday, I had to go shoot a baseball game. I thought when I come back, I wouldn't see it. That's how bad she was. I actually pulled out a stethoscope and listened to her heart because she got a heart murmur. And that sucker, she was breathing like this. That hole was going. wasn't even pumping double.
Mm.
I was thinking, damn, you're in CHF, man. I knew it. So when I came back, she was still here, and I forced her, made her take a heart pill. She wouldn't take it. I got a piece of chicken in her with a heart pill, and she wasn't eating, wasn't doing anything. All she was doing was hiding under the bed.
Mm.
And she hadn't barked at me. Yesterday, I went and bought little cans of white chicken, like tuna fish.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, time for your pill. And she likes chicken. So she come over and she eat the chicken. So she's been getting 2 pills a day instead of 1. And yesterday I said, you want a piece of this chicken? She looked up at me and said, you got to tell me. Because she hadn't barked at me since Friday, right?
Right.
So she looks up at me and she went, I went, no, I got to hear you. And she went, ruff, like that. I said, okay, you get 2 pieces of chicken. So I gave her the chicken, right? And just now she looked over at me and she started barking at me. But she hasn't left here. Like that's how she usually stays, right here. And then later, if I pick up the drone, she'll go to the back or something like that. But unless I bother her, she'll stay right here and look at me. And that's what she's been doing all morning. She just started barking like usual. So that's a good feeling. I know 2 pills a day are probably helping a lot. Because that's the prescription, 2 pills a day. But the doctor said last time she saw her, she said, "You giving her 2 pills or 1?" I said, "I'm giving her 1. Why?" She goes, "Well, she sounds okay. Just give her 1. You don't have to give her overdose." I said, "Is that an overdose?" She goes, "No, it's not an overdose. That's to make it go that make the heart calm down a little bit and get rid of some of the size because it was enlarged a little, and that's CHF. So and making it work too hard. That's why she's breathing labored. You know. So the 2 pills, she's breathing regular. So I'm gonna call the vet and tell her what's going on, and I'm gonna say, if you want to come see it, I'll bring her in now. But she's fine. I'll bring her in now because I got the contract for her to do a checkup on her. It's a lot cheaper to bring in when she's breathing all right than to breathe in and then give her about 18 things and cost me $200, even with the contract. You know, there'll always be something that isn't on the contract they want to do.
Of course.
But she looks a lot better now. I know what she wants. She want apple. Want a piece of apple? Yeah, she's walking better, everything else. But she's not moving 100% yet, but she's in the 90s. I got to be at Mandeville High at 12:30. And it's going on 11. I have a girl signing basketball somewhere. So there's 1 signing.
What, letter of intent or what?
Letter of intent, yeah. Got 1 of them going. I don't know who it is. I'm trying to think of who it could be. I bet you I know who it is. Got to be a model because she didn't sign. The only girl that signed was Minwa. Alana. It's got to be Alana signed. It's got to be the other one. Ava. That's the only one that I think is good enough to sign. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She told me who the girl was. She told me who the girl was. Hold on a minute. Let me see. She told me who the... Oh, Lord help me. It's Gianna. Gianna signing. Let me tell you about this girl. I'm looking at this girl, and she didn't even play this year because she blew her ACL. She didn't play a single dribble. She was hurt right in the beginning of the season and couldn't play a game, you know? And I didn't pick up the last name. It just never made sense to me. You know how sometimes hey, who are you related to? You know, it didn't click.
Right.
Her mama showed up. And I looked at her mama and I went, "Who are you here for?" That's my daughter. I shot her mama's pictures about 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. About 15 years. Out on the lakefront. Good looking woman. Really good looking woman, right? she wanted to get some more shots because she was trying to get into some more modeling stuff. So we did all the modeling pictures in that. And oh my God, these are good pictures. I love the way she looked in these pictures. I mean, she knew what she was doing. She knew how to pose and all of this. I didn't have to say anything. She just did her thing. And I didn't realize, and when I look at them together, yeah, you could tell. You know? I knew she looked like it was the difference the way she wears her hair. That's what it was. So I'll see her again today.
Sorry for the burden.
The who?
The burden.
What burden?
You're gonna see her today.
Oh, she'll be fine. I don't mind seeing her. Now she's probably about, she's got to be turning 40, 41, 42. And she don't look any different than she did 15 years ago.
So, Mr. Murray, how's your flying been going lately?
I went out and flew today and really strong winds. I had a hell of a time.
As the winter let its grip going, you guys up there? Because every time I keep seeing the news, they keep talking about you guys got another storm coming through.
Yeah, it was really windy down there this morning. Like 30, 35 mile an hour winds.
That's too much wind for air to us.
Well, it worked eventually, but you know, it's like when I was coming up under the ship, coming underneath the bridges, it would hesitate and stop slow, you know.
Right. That, like I said, that's because that's too much wind for the air to us. It may stop him eventually too.
Well, I sure used the hell out of a battery. I came back and I only had a quarter of a battery left.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You might have got around the front of the ship and didn't have enough to battery to get back.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened to Koshak.
No, his overheated.
Overheated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His battery overheated when he was coming back. And it told him stop. The thing said stop flying. You're overheating, right? Now my question was, if he'd have stopped flying and just hovered, would it have cooled down?
I would say no, because the motors are still spinning.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, my thing is at that point he should have found a piece of land to go over it and land it.
Yeah,
Well, he tried to come straight back instead of to the left.
Yeah,
he could have gone to the left 90 degrees, and there was a pier there. Also, he could have dropped altitude maybe or raised altitude depending, but he was fighting the wind really hard. If he would have turned and flown 90 degrees, he would have been flying with the wind.
Yep.
And would have taxed those motors just a little bit less too.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's all about the motors spinning hard is why he got that overheating, and got to find a way to cool them.
It makes you think, because I've flown the day after a hurricane here, and I was flying with the Mavic 3 in about 50 miles an hour wind. And it never gave me a wind warning at all, but it could have. You know,
Here's the rough version. Watch this bird here. Whoa.
He just come to say hello.
Well, this is going downwind. It worked okay.
Right. I know. Yeah, he said when you were coming back up.
Okay. Notice how it slows down. I got a full stick going.
Yeah, you in too much wind. And then you didn't do anything but fight it the whole time.
Oh, it actually stopped. See how it's stopping? Because I'm underneath the bridges and that acts like a wind tunnel. And I'm not intentionally going backwards. I got a full stick forward.
Now, do you have the app that tells you the wind speed? Like
No.
before you fly, you need to get that. You need to set it to whatever the max speed is on the drone and check it every time before you go out there. And if it says not good to fly because of the wind speed, don't fly.
Now, my question is, well, might be because of my enterprise controllers, it tells me what the current wind speed is as the drone is flying.
Yeah.
In what direction.
Yeah, because if he gets before you fly, he'll tell him
Yeah.
the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, before you fly is okay, but I always tell people the problem with before you fly, you don't know what the location of where they're getting their information
Now,
from.
now look, I'm being blown down back upstream. I'm not going that way on purpose.
Like
You're
I
getting
did
blown
a
into
little
the
short
lane.
about when can cause a drone to fail. Basically, this is what we would say, this is failing because the drone is not moving as you're flying it, and doesn't have enough power to get it around, fight the wind, to get around the other side of that ship. But I was saying that on my controller, I'll get the high wind notification first, but actually down by my telemetry, it also states the direction the wind is blowing and the speed.
Well, on my controller, I would get a caution high wind warning is all.
Yeah, it gets you a little red caution at the upper left part of the screen, high winds, be careful, or it tells you land immediately, whatever it throws out there. But I'm just saying down my telemetry, with the head speed, whatever else, it tells you altitude changes, but also get a little compass thing down there on my screens that tells me the actual wind direction and the speed of the wind as the drone is flying.
Now I'm getting blown back the right way.
Yeah. Because like you said, the wind may not be consistent, which what happened here allows you to get around the front where the wind paused for a little bit, whatever, and you were able to get around it. That's good.
And when you were on the other side, you're saying you're being blown, you weren't going backwards?
Well, yeah,
That
right
way?
here.
Yeah, I saw it. It looked like it was being pushed way over past that buoy, but it looked like you were pushing it. It looked like the wind was pushing you, but you were still going out that way.
That's going back. That's not panning the camera. That's right
Well,
there.
I understand. I didn't say anything about a camera. That was a stick that when you were turning sideways, you were actually probably just giving it a little backwards and pushing to that side a little bit because it was pushing you, but it wouldn't have pushed you that way. It would have pushed you. It would have just been pushing you straight. So you were drifting. To get past that buoy, you had to be drifting a little. And the way the wind was blowing, it wouldn't have drifted you that way.
No, I had my stick all the way back.
That's what I'm saying. You had it all the way back to do that, but you probably had a little bit to the right. And because that happens to me when I'm doing something, I'll notice that I'm going a little bit down or a little bit to the right or something like that more than I want. And it's just that very minute in the stick movements. When I think I'm doing that, the first thing I do is look at telemetry. See what my telemetry is doing. And if I think I'm doing it, I'll pick it up a little bit. What do you think? Hey, Dre, here you go. What do you think about all them freaking scientists and that have been missing all of a sudden?
Missing it or killed?
You know, it's something that I think should be highlighted in the news, just like when what's her name's mama got snatched in Arizona. Those individuals have a lot of national security information.
I know. They're now looking for it. Now it's a big headline.
I mean, first it was the Air Force guy, went for a walk, didn't come back. Now there's a couple other people. I said, dude, it may be foreign entities snatching these guys up.
I'm telling you, somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be a bad situation.
We are drawing a target on the fact that they are scientists. I'd like to know, because there's thousands and thousands of scientists, and we are focusing on these people that are disappearing. Is it at a higher rate for the scientists than it is for the general population? Because people go missing all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying these individuals who they have been highlighting all have ties to the national security of our government.
Right.
So they
But
hold information.
But there are thousands of people that have ties.
Yeah, like
So
I said,
I'm just curious
all-
as to, is this outside the normal for people who disappear, or are we just saying, are we seeing a pattern where none exists?
And is this the scientists that are they all related in the same type of field? You know,
Well, that they have not put that information out, far as what I've heard, and I understand why they wouldn't, because it may cause a hysterical
right, because they're all in the
response from the
same
public.
general field, doing the same general thing for the same type of company type, like the United
Yeah,
States.
That's what I'm
Is
saying.
that
It's
it?
like,
Could they be
Now,
going? Could they be going out and disappearing because they are going? They got an offer to disappear to another country with their knowledge, and they voluntarily go.
It could
like I
be
say,
that.
Don, could be. That's what I'm saying. These
And-
individuals,
and what I think
because
half
of their
of them,
association or prior work locations within the government, because like I said, most of these guys have been, some of them have been military officers,
yeah,
retired.
a lot of them, a lot of them too. I think it was about half of them have left their wallets and their cell phones and everything at the house. And just
Right.
left.
See, yeah.
Like
Are
disappeared,
you
like it was
well?
purposeful.
If I'm gonna leave my cell phone because that can be tracked. So don't bring that.
Right.
My wallet. I'm going to have a different life in a different country. I'm not going to need.
Mhm. Well, you
Now,
know,
the
you got
other
me
thing-
thinking, Don. I think they all might be gathering in one of them old bunkers near your house.
They might
Yeah.
be. There are some silos here in Missouri that could be converted to a. Yeah.
And the other simple answer is we might not realize it, but these just might be the aliens going back. They
Could
came
be
here to
the
give us the
aliens.
information they needed.
Put me on the thing.
That they've given us all information that we need right now, so they just went back home. You know.
These cavemen cannot be taught. Beam me up.
Or it could be, I was just watching an old movie from the 80s. Don, you probably remember this one, The Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, could be that scenario where they leave these guys were
Hey,
betas.
Joe,
Yo.
you can tell how windy it is down
Oh.
there.
Yeah. So don't
Great.
fly anymore.
I made the recommendation to Justin. The movie Begonia.
What is it again?
It's called Begonia. I'm not going to tell you much.
Okay, I saw the advertisement that run Oscars. Yeah.
It is good. It is
Is it?
really good. I recommend it highly. But
okay.
try and stay away from any spoilers. It's really
Okay.
good.
Well, I'm trying to trust until you're saying it's good. You give it a thumbs up, so it may be worth at least a watch.
Yeah.
But like I said, I broke out the old Blu-ray version, that Last Starfighter. Man, that looks good on the screen, dude. I was like, ooh.
Those effects are kind of rough, but you know,
at the time they
it's
were
for the
great.
time.
And I'm just saying that when I look at the figure, like somebody was they were saying that they didn't want to watch the latest release of the what's the one Avatar. They didn't want to watch it till they got the hard disk. And I was telling them, I said, you know what? I saw it in the theaters on the 3-screen thing, which was nice effect. But I was really surprised, and it's because of the CGI and the AI, the saturated coloring they used in that. I mean, it is so thick and in detail. It is just like, wow.
Yeah, I've seen clips of the latest Avatar, and it does not look. It looks more cartoony
Well,
than
like I
the
said,
original, the first
if
one.
you saw a still shot, you would get that impression. If you
No, I
actually-
watched video clips.
Okay,
And
video
it was
clips.
even the little human, what, spider?
Yeah, Monkey
Uh,
Boy.
Yeah, he does not look like a human. He looks like a 3D version, like a 3D rendered version of a human. And it's like
Hmm.
just something. The first movie was amazing, and it
Hmm.
feels like they've gone backwards in some
Exactly.
aspects.
I mean, like I said, I remember I told you guys the
But I don't
storyline
know
is the
if the
same.
story's great. The story's great. I
I
don't
mean,
care.
to me, the storyline is the same from the first one to this one. It's kind of
I have
similar
yet to see.
storyline.
I have yet to see the second two. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah, the storyline is pretty consistent throughout. The bad guy is still the bad guy, and all that kind of good guy is still the same good guy. So that tells you that right there. So the storyline doesn't really evolve. You just bring in extra characters to give it a different flavor or vibe. Because now you got extra characters who are involved. What you thought in the first movie, when the guy Montauk or whatever he was, that was supposed to have gathered all of these people under one banner to fight off the off-world people. But in this third
Sully.
iteration, what's that?
Was it Jacob Sully?
Yeah, Sully. He supposed to have flown around and got all the tribes together in the first movie. Now in this third movie, you get this so-called out. I wouldn't call it. They wasn't banned, but they felt they were neglected by Yahweh and stuff, and they are just kind of out there on their own, willing to fight all the rest of the clans or act like marauders on their own, but they end up hooking up with some of the Earth people and stuff. But I said this movie here, like I say, is for streaming. I'm just saying for just the aspect of what it looks like, even in streaming, it looked good. Now I might say my streaming setup might be on the high end as far as the amount of bandwidth I have and everything else that doesn't miss a beat. The Dolby Atmos is there and everything else. But compared to some other stuff, yeah, it makes other movies look kind of flat. This, like you said, this one is almost on the verge of 3D because of the saturation of colors, the in-depth of how they shot it. And I think it was shot with 3D cameras originally and stuff. So that might get that feeling.
I never saw the second or the third one. The first one was probably some of the best 3D that I ever saw because
I wasn't impressed.
Treated it as a frame, and the point of convergence they pushed into the screen instead of out of the screen, and that is always a lot easier to do. And I thought they did a good job on that. The best 3D I ever saw was The Hobbit, even though the movies sucked. The movies were horrible, but I saw it in high frame rate, 3D in high frame rate, and I found out that normally when I watch 3D movies, my eyes are kind of strained a little bit, and when they switch over to that high frame rate, I could feel my eyes relax. The movie sucked, and that high frame rate makes everything look kind of like a high school production. You see the effects a little more. It looks fake.
Okay.
But
so you're not a fan of the Hobbit series, huh?
The movies, no, they were horrible.
Didn't like the story?
I love the Hobbit book.
Well, I'm just saying, the story version you didn't like.
The movie version sucked.
I'm just saying there's one thing, if the story sucked, but it might have great visual effects. But the visual effects
it had pretty good visual effects.
Storyline could be good.
Yeah, it had good visual effects, but they destroyed the story. They stretched it out. They added things that were never in the books that didn't even belong. It was just, and some things they did just to do the effects, and it did not serve the story. It was just to make the effect. Okay. There's a lot wrong with it. But now Ralph Bakshi's The Hobbit was pretty good.
I enjoyed the trilogy of it. I enjoyed the storytelling, but see, I never read the books, so I wasn't
Of The Hobbit or of Lord of the Rings?
either Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Never read the books.
Okay, but which trilogy are you talking about as a movie?
The Hobbit.
You
I
like?
liked it. I
You like
liked
The
it,
Hobbit?
both of them. I have all 6 movies, both trilogies, and I liked it for the storytelling part. Whatever the effects were or what they were, but I liked the storyline. It was pretty good to me. Like I said, I never read the books, so I can't have
Okay.
add a comparison.
Okay, so maybe
Just like
maybe
we're
it's
talk-
my
And
maybe
just
I'm
like we're
prejudiced
talking
because
about
of
talking
the
about the Doom movies. I never read the book, but I saw the first movie. It was good for its time, but these new movies, I'm like, okay, the
these
visual
new
part is
movies stick
great.
really close to the books. The books are amazing.
Mhm.
These new ones they're going to cut off probably at Children of Dune because once you get into God Emperor, it goes so far crazy, but really good crazy that
Yeah.
I don't know if they would be able to.
Now I watched the Children of Dune on YouTube. I
Sci-fi.
think it was Sci-Fi Channel, which I didn't realize it was on. But now the next third iteration is supposed to come out this December, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see which I guess is going to be them battling through the galaxy. Because that's where the last one left off. I'm just assuming by how the last one left off.
Yes.
There should be no more wars on Dune itself. Because unless the other houses invade Dune. But don't say nothing.
I won't.
Okay. We all have to hope that Shani comes around and be the concubine she's supposed to be.
Well, she will, of course.
Yeah, well, I mean that would mess up the Children of the Dune part then.
Yeah, I'm not printing landfill, I'm printing something practical right now. You know those little things you get to get hair out of your drain? It's got the little knobs on it that's you stick it down and then you pull it and it grabs all the hair. I had 2 of them, I can't find them. I'm printing one. I'm gonna do it out of PETG. Make sure it don't break off on me in it.
How did you make out doing new feet for your drone?
I threw them away, I told you. Because I got them in the picture.
I'm glad
If you
brought
watch
that
my
up,
video,
Paul.
you'd see.
I didn't understand what you're talking about, Joe. Talking about feet were in your. I saw the video and I'm like, why you have those little look like nipples to me?
Yeah, that's like the little legs. Yeah.
Those were legs?
Yeah, that's little legs. I still got these. I got the
Landing legs.
little landing legs.
Oh, okay. So something you added on. 'Cause I'm like saying it doesn't come with legs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it doesn't come with legs, but it's got a little rubber strip. When the gimbal clicks up for you to land, it's got the little thing. And everybody's freaking out saying, well, what happens if it don't come up? You hit you hit something with the lens, you know?
With the camera.
Just hand catch.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far. I'm just like, make sure you take off and land on a improved surface.
Well, they give
Oh,
you
yeah.
a landing pad with the drone.
Oh, then use the landing pad.
Well, I use the
Yeah.
landing pad anytime, all the way, anytime. You know, anytime. I've got one in my car, and I always use the landing pad unless I'm. And then the only time I don't use a landing pad is if it's on concrete, but then there's a lot of like grit. I won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not gonna play with the grit.
I was like, why is he getting these little nipples in his frame, in his footage?
It did look like little nipples, huh?
Yeah. just like, what the heck is going on here? I mean, the picture quality was nice, but I kept, even from the start and everything else, and then when you flipped around and you were showing the backside, I'm
So the
like,
light-
there's even more of them.
And everything's off of it. I took it all off.
Yeah, I'm like, I've seen the battery, I'm like, the batteries, these nip. I said, what is going on here?
Yeah. And it was the light. You saw the whole light. I put I always like collision lights on them in the daytime because the birds leave it alone.
Yeah, which that's no big deal, but I'm just surprised in the editing part, you were not able to either move down, which would have gave you more delays, and you moved it up, you got the battery.
Yeah, no, and because I wanted certain looks, and every time I try to get the certain look, so I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna put it just like I want it to look, and then I'm gonna comment on it. Don't do what I do, basically. Don't do this. It'll never happen again.
When I saw that, I thought you had hovered over one of them gators and they don't jumped up and ate your drone, dude.
But did you see that gator as I came
saw
across it
three.
the last time?
I saw 3 gators.
Yeah, there
in
were
that
3.
water. I saw 3.
There were a bunch of turtles, and that last gator, every time I went over there, he changed direction. And the last time I went over him, if you look at him good, he's puffed up a little bit out of the water.
Yeah, you saw the full
that
body.
water is only about 2-3 feet deep. He could have put his tail up there and come straight up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We seen that video before. The guy hovering over a gator and jumps up and grabs
they could come out and push
the old
yeah, they put their
something like that.
Yeah, they put their tail on there and they come up out of the water the length of them. And I thought he was I looked at that thing 2 or 3 times. I thought he was a little 4-foot one. He was like 6 foot.
Yeah.
Last year,
they're still out there young.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bulky and stuff, but still,
last year they pulled a 14-foot one out of there. And you notice the people standing on the bank with the dog?
I saw them walk back.
I've seen kids walking along the bank. And they got signs, gators.
Yeah.
It's a state park and they got signs. We have gators in here.
Yeah.
Caution, gators. That's all around the thing. But they let their kids walk along the edge. One of these days, one of them's going to jump out and grab somebody.
Yeah. But I
That's
saw,
why I used to go fishing over there.
I saw the full body one, which is out where the people walk by. I could swear I saw the head frame of 2 other ones as you're flying around.
I saw 2 of them. I saw the one that they saw, and I know I saw one other one. When I went over it, I know I saw just the head of it. And then when I came back around, if you notice one part when I'm coming back around, something went down. That might have been the 3rd.
Yeah.
But I saw a bunch of turtles. And that was cool.
I was like, man.
I got to look at the height on that. What's that? I'll tell you what the height was. I got it on freaking air data. I wasn't that high either. That's why when I went over it the last time and I saw the way it directed, I said, oh shit, no, I'm coming back. That would have been the fastest 360 somebody bought that a gator got, Let's see. That's in the max altitude, right? Lord, 7.2 feet. So I wasn't that high.
And that's what you wore taking off on the ground.
So I was only probably about 6 foot over that water. Maybe less. Maybe 5 foot over that water. Because it went down. It wasn't equal with the land.
Yeah.
Maybe about 6 foot. That's what I said. I thought I was about 6 foot over that water.
Yeah.
Because if you look at those little bushes, the swamp grass,
yeah,
it was tall. It was higher than me.
And
they're only about 7 feet. Yeah,
right.
But that's all I
I'm
flew.
about to bounce off here. Gotta act like I'm doing some work. So
That was the flight right there. All I did was go over that pond. Just back and forth over that pond. Just where I started from, went right around here, and that gator was right here, and I know there was another one right around here that I saw, and I think there was one here, but all up in here were turtles. But yeah, I'm gonna jump to because I gotta get ready to go to that thing.
Okay.
Yep.
I am in
It's
shade.
probably
Yet.
time for me to hop off too.
Okay, we're gonna shut her down then.
Later.
Okay, everybody, take care. We'll see you later today.